Hey truckers, here is part of 6 villain tricks heroines into hating the MC. Let's dive into the video. 2 days later, Wang Jian was overjoyed to receive a favorable response from the Crimson Cult. The leader of the notorious organization had agreed to buy the resources from him at twice the market price, a lucrative deal that promised to enrich Wang Jian beyond his wildest dreams. The Crimson Cult also pledged to aid him in his bid for the throne, a valuable ally in the cutthroat world of political power struggles. With the deal in hand, Wang Jian released Mei from prison and immediately set to work, rallying his friends and allies to send him a vast array of supplies. The Xiao family provided him with tens of thousands of pellets, spanning all 6 stages of refinement, and each one imbued with powerful energy and potential for great power. The Liu family contributed thousands of talismans, a potent arsenal of assault, defensive, and utility talismans. Lastly, the group of merchants led by Tang Xiaohui sent him a cornucopia of essential supplies, including swords, armors, clothes, and a plethora of equipment such as support rings and pendants. These valuable assets were stored in Wang Jian's grand palace, ready to be unleashed at a moment's notice. But Wang Jian was no fool. He knew the value of these resources and the dangers of being exploited by the cunning Crimson Cult. So he decided to hold on to them until the organization delivered on its promise to compensate him adequately. The exchange took place in Wang Jian's opulent palace, where a group of 7 members of the Crimson Cult arrived, bearing spatial pouches that were brimming with an extraordinary assortment of rare and exquisite treasures. The pouches contained tons of rare raw materials, each of which was worth a fortune, thousands of different types of herbs that were lost to the world and even mythical in nature, and an exorbitant number of Empire's coins that dwarfed the wealth that the Church of Divine Light had previously offered him. Wang Jian was impressed by the sheer magnitude of the resources that the Crimson Cult had delivered. His shrewd mind could not help but wonder how they had managed to accumulate such a wealth of precious items. Nonetheless, he remained calm and composed as he carefully inspected the contents of each pouch, ensuring that they matched the terms of their agreement. Once he was satisfied, Wang Jian nodded in approval, and the Crimson Cult members departed, leaving behind a palpable sense of satisfaction in the air. As a result of the lucrative deal, Wang Jian had established a strong rapport with the members of the Crimson Cult who had arrived at his palace. In fact, they had even shared with him the means to communicate with their enigmatic leader. Amidst the events of the past few days, a sinister incident had occurred that cast a shadow of suspicion over Wang Jian. 4 esteemed elders of the prestigious Tao of Alchemy Society had been ruthlessly assassinated in a manner that was strikingly similar to the previous victims of the notorious Night Dagger clan. What made matters worse was that these elders were also the same ones who had opposed the Xiao family, adding fuel to the accusations against Wang Jian. However, Wang Jian was not involved in these heinous crimes, and he knew it. He was aware of who the true culprit behind these murders was. It could only be the scheming Crown Prince Wang Hao or the conniving second Princess Wang Ying. UW up Tez on nov/l/bi.com. They had the motive and the means to carry out such a sinister act. In the meantime, the Crimson Guards had barged into the Night Dagger clan's territory, claiming to investigate the deaths of the Alchemy Society's elders. Fen Shuiying, a senior member of the Night Dagger clan, confronted General Mu, the leader of the mission, in anger. What is the meaning behind this? Fen Shuiying demanded. We have received the Crown Prince's orders to investigate the deaths of the Alchemy Society's elders, General Mu replied coldly. This sort of brazen killing will not be tolerated. Fen Shuiying narrowed her eyes. And what proof do you have that it was us who committed these killings? The 7th Prince's faction has been known to have a grudge against these elders of the Alchemy Society, and the killings bear the hallmarks of your clan's signature methods, General Mu replied, his tone accusatory. Fen Shuiying scoffed. So, you are accusing us without any solid evidence? That is preposterous. General Mu remained unfazed. We have our ways of gathering information. And we have already apprehended some suspects from your clan. Fen Shuiying's eyes widened in shock. What? Who are they? They are currently being interrogated, General Mu said. But I must warn you that if we find any evidence linking your clan to these murders, the Crimson Guard will not hesitate to take action. Fen Shuiying gritted her teeth in frustration. She knew that the Night Dagger clan was being framed for these killings, but it was difficult to prove their innocence when the Crown Prince had the power to manipulate evidence and witnesses. She needed to find a way to clear their name before it was too late. She didn't want Wang Jian to lose the Night Dagger clan's support. How dare you accuse us of these heinous crimes? You have no evidence, no proof, and yet you barge in here, acting like you own the place? You and your Crimson Guards are nothing but dogs of the Crown Prince, willing to do his bidding without question. General Mu narrowed his eyes, clearly displeased with Fan Shuiying's words. Watch your tongue, girl. You may be the leader of the Night Dagger clan, but that does not give you the right to disrespect the Crown Prince's orders. Fan Shuiying scoffed. The Crown Prince's orders? More like his pathetic attempts to eliminate his enemies and consolidate his power. I won't stand for it. If you continue to harass and interrogate my clan members, I will not hesitate to use force to defend them. Her words were like a sharp blade, cutting through the tension in the air. The room fell silent, with everyone holding their breath, waiting for the next move. General Mu frowned, realizing that this situation could quickly escalate if he didn't handle it properly. He knew that the Night Dagger clan was not someone to be taken lightly, and the Crimson Guards were not prepared for a confrontation with them. He glanced around the room, assessing the situation. The Crimson Guards had not brought all their manpower, as they had not anticipated any resistance from the Night Dagger clan. Right now, only he and his closest comrades had arrived to investigate the mansion. He sighed inwardly, knowing that he had to tread carefully. We understand. But remember that if we find any evidence linking your clan to those murders, you won't get away so simply as today. General Mu spoke in a measured tone, trying to diffuse the tension in the room. Fan Shuiying's eyes narrowed at his words, and for a moment, it seemed like she would lash out. But then, she took a deep breath and stepped back, allowing the Crimson Guards to leave the mansion. As General Mu and his comrades walked out of the mansion, they saw Wang Jian approaching from the main gate. His presence was like a malevolent force, radiating an aura of menace that sent shivers down their spines. General Mu tensed up, knowing that he was in a precarious situation. Wang Jian's smile was cold and predatory, as if he was relishing the prospect of violence. Before General Mu could even react, Wang Jian's fist connected with his face with a sickening thud. General Mu stumbled backwards, clutching his face in pain. The rest of the Crimson Guards were quickly overwhelmed by the Night Dagger clan's members, who were ruthless and efficient. They fought like demons, wielding weapons with deadly accuracy and taking down their opponents with brutal force. General Mu tried to gather his wits and help his subordinates, but Wang Jian moved with lightning speed, delivering a flurry of punches, kicks, and elbows that prevented him from intervening. The battle raged on for what seemed like hours, but in reality, it was only a matter of minutes. The Crimson Guards were no match for Wang Jian's formidable force, and they were quickly defeated. General Mu was the only one left standing, but he was badly battered and bruised. Wang Jian approached him, his eyes glinting with malice. Crawl back to your hideout. Make sure to remember that if you dare to step into my property, I will be the one raiding your property, Wang Jian growled. General Mu struggled to get up, but his body was too weak to stand. He knew that he had underestimated Wang Jian's power, and he paid the price for his arrogance. As he and his subordinates limped away from the scene of the battle, General Mu vowed to himself that he would never cross swords with Wang Jian's faction again. This incident was quickly broadcast across the entire empire. Many individuals, including Crown Prince Wang Hao, Second Princess Wang Ying, Third Prince Wang Chen, and many other organizations and factions, were extremely startled. They never imagined that Wang Jian would actually attack the Crimson Guards so openly. One of the merchants in Wang Jian's faction was clamoring about the situation. Your Highness, attacking the Crimson Guards who are members of the Crown Prince's faction was a reckless move. What if the Crown Prince seeks vengeance against us? This could mean trouble for our faction. It had been 4 days since the attack, and the news had spread like wildfire throughout the empire. It had caused a ripple of fear and uncertainty among individuals within Wang Jian's faction. They were all wondering if the Crown Prince would retaliate against them. However, Wang Jian was not the least bit scared. He knew that his eldest brother had sent the Crimson Guards just to scare him. Those fools came into my territory and were interrogating members of the clans in my faction. The fact that I didn't kill them is already me showing mercy. If my brother wants to pursue this matter, then I'm willing to fight it out with him. Wang Jian's commanding tone made the merchants realize that they were dealing with a dangerous man. If there is anyone who is terrified of the consequences, I offer you to leave my faction immediately. The situation will only become more chaotic, he declared. The ultimatum caused a flurry of activity among the merchants. Some decided to stay by Wang Jian's side, while others thought it best to leave the faction. One of the merchants who decided to stay spoke up, Your Highness, we trust you to handle this situation. We believe in your leadership and are willing to stand by you. N/W novel chapters are published on no/vel/bin.co/m. Wang Jian nodded in satisfaction. Good. We will not back down from a fight, especially one that involves defending our own territory. The merchants left the meeting feeling a sense of unease. They knew that they had aligned themselves with a man who was willing to go to great lengths to protect what was his. The consequences of such actions could be disastrous, but they also knew that the rewards could be great if they played their cards right. After the departure of the merchants, a stunning event transpired within Wang Jian's palace. An envoy representing the Crown Prince's faction arrived, seeking an apology for the unruly behavior exhibited by the Crimson Guards. The unexpected gesture took everyone by surprise, as they had anticipated a retaliatory response from the opposing faction. Wang Jian, however, maintained his composure and graciously accepted the apology before releasing the envoy. He realized that Wang Hao was likely aware that the Night Dagger clan was not responsible for the assassination of the elders. Nevertheless, Wang Hao dispatched the Crimson Guards to create a disturbance and utilize it as a pretext to undermine Wang Jian's reputation. If successful, this maneuver would have severely diminished Wang Jian's prestige and demonstrated the Crown Prince's faction's dominance. It would have empowered them to disrupt Wang Jian's operations with impunity, creating an environment that would deter other organizations from joining Wang Jian's faction. However, Wang Jian's calm and resolute handling of the situation produced the opposite effect. His response illustrated that he was not intimidated by the Crown Prince's faction and was unwilling to be provoked or intimidated. It demonstrated his strength of character and earned him the respect and admiration of his followers. In the meantime, the second princess Wang Ying was extremely startled. Firstly, she never expected Wang Jian to actually attack the members of the Crimson Guards. Secondly, she didn't think that Wang Hao would let this matter go by sending an envoy to seek an apology from Wang Jian. As second Princess Wang Ying sat in her chambers, two of her servants entered with news about Yi Chen. "Princess, we have news about Yi Chen," said one of the servants. Apparently, he was seen hunting demons in the western region. The princess perked up at the mention of Yi Chen's name. "What? Hunting demons? How many?" she asked eagerly. "It's said that he slaughtered nearly hundreds of demons in that area," replied the other servant. Wang Ying was startled by the news but also pleased. Finally, she thought Yi Chen was doing something to improve his image and regain his standing in society. "Good. Tell him to keep this up," she said, smiling. "He can slowly change the public's view of himself." One of the servants nodded, "Yes, princess. We will send word to him immediately." Unbeknownst to many, a month had passed, and within that time, a significant event had taken place in the western region. The demon forces had launched a brutal assault on the beast races living within the dense forest and had seized control of the forest of the beast race. The area was rich in spiritual energy, which was a highly coveted resource for the demons, but that was not the primary reason for their assault. A chain of events led to the demon forces launching their attack. It began with Yi Chen's continuous attacks on the demons in the western region, which had caused them to call for reinforcements from the Jade Sea Empire. When the reinforcements arrived, they brought with them one of the four great devil clans of the demon race and effortlessly defeated Yi Chen, forcing him to retreat. However, instead of returning to their own territory after dealing with Yi Chen, these demons chose to remain in the everlasting Mystic Empire and explore the area further. They soon stumbled upon a special forest filled with elemental law sparks, a valuable resource coveted by all beasts in the region. In order to seize control of the forest and claim the sparks for themselves, the demon horde launched a violent attack on the peaceful beast race living in the area. The elemental law sparks were protected by a powerful seal that could only be opened by the queen of the butterfly race. Every 10 years, the queen would open the seal, allowing any beast in the forest, regardless of their race, to receive the blessings of the elemental law sparks. This practice helped beasts break through bottlenecks and advance quickly to higher realms of power. However, this time, when the seal was opened, the demons launched a sudden attack, catching the beast race off guard. The marauding demon forces that attacked the beast races in the forest were composed of a vast number of ruthless demon kings who relished in slaughtering any beast that dared to oppose them. These demon kings were not only incredibly powerful but also skilled at the art of war, which they used to deadly effect during the assault. The queen of the butterfly race, despite her best efforts to save her kin, could only manage to lead a minority of her kind and some other beasts to safety, as the demon forces were simply too overwhelming for her to overcome. The rest of the butterfly race and countless other beasts, who were unable to escape, were captured by the demons. As of right now, the queen of the butterfly race and her group of beasts were residing in a hideout that was concealed with a special illusionary array near the forest. They were trying to come up with a strategy that would let them save their comrades. However, they were aware of the daunting task ahead, considering the stark difference in the strength of their forces compared to the demons. Finally, the queen of the butterfly race came up with a solution that might turn the tides in their favor. She decided to seek the aid of the humans, knowing that the everlasting mystic empire was ruled by powerful human beings who could potentially defeat the demons. With this in mind, a few brave beasts set out to a nearby human settlement to deliver the queen's proposal. One of the beasts, a tall and imposing figure with sleek black fur and piercing amber eyes, stepped forward and addressed the guards in a clear and powerful voice. "We come on behalf of the butterfly spirit race," he declared. "Our people have been taken captive by the demon forces, and we are in dire need of your assistance. We believe that the humans of this land possess great strength and resourcefulness, and we humbly request your aid in fighting our common foe." The guards exchanged uncertain glances, clearly taken aback by the gravity of the situation. The beast continued, his voice resolute and unwavering. "In return for your aid, the queen of the butterfly spirit race herself will personally present the butterfly spirit queen's mark to the human who relieves us from this calamity. This mark is a symbol of our utmost respect and gratitude." The guards looked at one another, unsure of how to respond. After a moment of silence, one of the guards stepped forward and spoke in a deep, authoritative voice. "We understand the gravity of your situation and will relay this message to the royal palace," he said. The beast's eyes shone with relief and gratitude, and he bowed deeply to the guard. "Thank you," he said. "The fate of our race rests in your hands." Thus, this news spread around the entire empire quickly. It caused create ripples across all factions, organizations, and sects. Wang Jian was taken aback upon hearing the news of the butterfly spirit race's plea for help, which had spread like wildfire throughout the entire everlasting mystic empire. Inquiring about the butterfly spirit race from the system, he received a detailed response that shed light on their significance in the world. The butterfly spirit race is one of the most revered species in the world, renowned for their exceptional skills in illusionary magic and profound understanding of spiritual energy. This race comprises solely of enchanting women possessing large, iridescent wings that shimmer in the sunlight and can be made invisible according to their wishes. They live in their habitat, nestled deep within the forest, and coexist harmoniously with the other creatures residing there. The world's essence is particularly fond of their presence, permeating their habitat with pure spiritual energy. Wang Jian then asked about the butterfly spirit mark. Any being who garners the favor of the butterfly spirit race experiences a significant increase in providence or luck. They will also be immune to harm by the insect-type beasts for their entire life. The system further gave detailed description of the advantages of the butterfly spirit queen's mark. Acquiring the butterfly spirit queen's mark is a tremendous honor, as the individual will be regarded as the savior of the entire race. It will unlock a plethora of benefits, including the ability to effortlessly teleport to the heart of the butterfly spirit race's habitat. Moreover, it will enhance the individual's providence and luck significantly, while their spiritual energy will be empowered to new heights. Furthermore, the mark will provide immunity against insect-type beasts and illusionary attacks, providing a formidable defense against any potential threats. Once Wang Jian read this information, he made up his mind to go and help out the butterfly spirit race. According to the information he had received, Yi Chen was in that area as well. Thus, Wang Jian knew he had to move quickly. Before departing, Wang Jian took the time to provide detailed instructions to each of the women in his company, tenderly sharing a kiss with each one as a gesture of reassurance and trust. Addressing Su Xian with a gentle smile, he conveyed, "During my absence, I want you to expand the number of your disciples. Seek out those beautiful women who have been unjustly exiled by their sections. Xiao Ling and Meng Xiaoyi will assist you in managing them. Keep a watchful eye on Xiao Ling as well." Turning his attention to Fen Shuiying, his voice laced with determination, he instructed, "While I am away, it is crucial that you eliminate the targets on the list I provided you." Regarding Chen Yan, Wang Jian's eyes softened with understanding, and he said, "Return to the Windhaven Kingdom, my dear. I know your heart longs for it. Now that you have reached the pinnacle of the Lord Realm, you can support your father in subduing any factions that dare to oppose his rule. Additionally, keep a discreet watch over my ninth brother, Wan Lan, and covertly establish contact with the members of his factions. Recruit them for our cause." Looking at Kong Huiyan with a steadfast gaze, Wang Jian entrusted her with a significant responsibility. Lead the Crimson Mammoth warriors to the Sacred Crane sect. Aid them in hunting beasts and eliminating rogue demons in the vicinity. However, your true task is to subtly remove the elders who do not wholeheartedly support our faction. Turning to Han Shifeng, his expression filled with a sense of purpose, he said, "I want you to utilize all your resources to establish temples in 3 nearby towns. Visit these towns regularly and utilize your holy qi to heal the ailments of the suffering people. Accompany yourself with a select group of Crimson Mammoth warriors and Night Dagger clan members. Fixing his gaze on Xiaoling, Wang Jian's voice was filled with a mix of expectation and guidance. Xian's group will be recruiting more disciples. I trust you to test their abilities and help them grow. Your time spent in the Celestial Dragon sect has equipped you with valuable experience. Turning to Meng Xiangyi, he spoke with a tone of reliance, assist Xian in managing her group and providing them with training. Act as her advisor in any matters that arise during my absence. Your early exposure to your father's management of your clan will serve you well in navigating the intricacies. Addressing Lady Xia, Wang Jian's voice was filled with concern and protectiveness. Ensure that Shuaying, Huiyan, and Shifeng are in charge of safeguarding your company. Establish a single, yet prominent store in the capital. Seek assistance from Xian to provide you with the necessary manpower and resources. Finally, directing his attention to Bishi Shuyan and Lady Zhuoran, Wang Jian's voice held a sense of determination. Come with me, for I will require your assistance by my side. New chapters will be fully updated at novl/bin.com. Once the meticulous instructions had been given, Wang Jian, accompanied by Lady Zhuoran, Bishi Shuyan, and a select group of King Realm experts from his faction, gracefully departed from the Grand Mansion. They embarked on a solemn journey towards the sacred domain of the butterfly spirit race, their determined footsteps echoing in unison as they set forth to confront the impending challenges. Meanwhile, Wang Jian's devoted women, filled with a sense of purpose and duty, diligently set to work, fully dedicated to carrying out his instructions with unwavering commitment. Each of them embarked on their respective tasks, their actions driven by loyalty and the deep bond they shared with him. The mansion became a hive of focused activity as plans were set into motion and preparations took shape, ensuring that every aspect of Wang Jian's vision would be meticulously realized in his absence. The sacred domain of the butterfly spirit race had become the focal point of a grand convergence, drawing the attention and aspirations of not only Wang Jian and his faction but also the prominent forces within the empire. The legends surrounding the coveted butterfly spirit queen's mark had permeated the collective consciousness of these influential figures, igniting a fierce desire within them to claim the symbol of power and fortune for themselves. Accompanied by an entourage of utmost significance, the crown prince emerged as a commanding presence amidst this throng of contenders. United under his leadership were the prestigious Jade Order, renowned for their unwavering loyalty, the formidable Brotherhood of the Steel Fist, whose ironclad fists struck fear into the hearts of adversaries, and the indomitable Crimson Guards, their crimson-clad warriors ready to defend their honor at any cost. Additionally, disciples of immense talent, guided by revered elders from the Heavenly Blade sect and the Celestial Dragon sect, lent their expertise to the Crown Prince's cause. The ranks swelled further with the inclusion of allied clans, their collective strength bolstering the Crown Prince's bid for the Butterfly Spirit Queen's mark. Not to be outdone, the second princess assembled her own formidable alliance, composed of esteemed organizations and loyal allies. Among their ranks stood the Mystic Creature Handlers Union, skilled in the art of taming the most elusive and enigmatic creatures, the renowned Iron Mercenaries, their steely resolve matched only by their unmatched combat prowess, and a select group of the Brotherhood of the Steel Fist, their unwavering loyalty aligned with the princess's cause. Accompanying them were esteemed clans such as the Jin clan and the Hua clan, their members showcasing exceptional prowess in martial arts and arcane arts alike. They were also joined by the talented beauties of the Jade Lotus sect who were led by the ice-cold beauty Elder Hua. The alliance was further fortified by the presence of Su Yuding, leading a contingent of highly skilled alchemists from the prestigious Tao of Alchemy Society. In stark contrast to the grandeur of the Crown Prince and the second princess, the enigmatic third prince made a discreet entrance, opting for a covert approach. Accompanied only by a select group of trusted King Realm guards, he shunned the ostentation of his sect's renowned experts and the infamous Lotus assassins, preserving an air of mystery around his intentions. Meanwhile, as Wang Jian embarked on his journey, he enlisted the protection of 3 formidable King Realm experts, whose mastery of martial arts was matched only by their unwavering loyalty. Accompanying him was the captivating and alluring Lady Zhuoran, whose beauty and grace concealed a strength and resilience that commanded respect. To further enhance their expedition, Wang Jian also welcomed the invaluable presence of Bishi Shuyan, a gifted individual renowned for her uncanny ability to locate rare and precious resources. As they set forth, Wang Jian's faction rallied behind him with unwavering support. Leading the charge was Xia Cheng, a stalwart figure and the esteemed father of Xia Jiwei, who marshaled a talented contingent from the illustrious Xia family, each member talented in the field of alchemy. Similarly, Lu Yu's father led a select group from the renowned Lu family, their lineage steeped in studying and crafting powerful and rare talismans. The sacred Crane sect's esteemed third elder, Luo Zhong, also joined the ranks, his leadership guiding a promising assembly of skilled disciples, including his son Luoying. Together, these individuals represented the diverse talents of Wang Jian's faction. Amidst the multitude of factions converging upon the sacred domain, numerous other organizations seized the opportunity to participate in the pursuit of the Butterfly Spirit Queen's mark. Among them, the prestigious Church of the Divine Light illuminated the path with their unwavering devotion to righteousness and enlightenment. The enigmatic Crimson Cult cast its shadow upon the gathering, veiled in mystery and allure. The Iron Mountain Sect and the Crimson Rock Sect, renowned for their formidable martial prowess, arrived with an air of unwavering confidence. Additionally, representatives from esteemed associations such as the Tao of Alchemy Society, the Celestial Talismans Guild, and the Mystic Creature Handlers Union made their presence felt, each seeking to test their fortunes in this extraordinary quest. Even the enigmatic Underworld Barter Syndicate, known for their clandestine dealings, cautiously ventured into the fray, their motives shrouded in secrecy. Initially, Emperor Wang, along with several other powerful Emperor Realm experts, had intended to journey to the sacred domain of the Butterfly Spirit race with the intention of vanquishing the demonic forces and claiming the coveted Butterfly Spirit Queen's mark. However, their plans were abruptly disrupted when a message arrived from the Jade Sea Empire. Startling news revealed that the royal family of the Jade Sea Empire had struck a controversial agreement with the Oceanic Tempest Storm Devil clan. In this clandestine deal, they threatened to unleash an assault on the everlasting Mystic Empire should any Emperor Realm expert dare to confront the demons within the sacred dominion of the Butterfly Spirit race. Adding to the gravity of the situation, a formidable array had been erected within the region, specifically designed to detect the presence of Emperor Realm experts. This technological barrier served as a deterrent, ensuring that no powerful cultivator could trespass upon the sacred domain. In an unexpected turn of events, however, the royal family of the Jade Sea Empire sought to appease Emperor Wang and the everlasting Mystic Empire. They offered a valuable compensation in the form of 3 lifeless corpses of Emperor Realm beasts, each infused with a trace of the revered dragon bloodline. This generous offering carried tremendous significance, as defeating a beast bearing even a fraction of the dragon bloodline was an arduous feat. The corpses possessed immense value, particularly for cultivators who practiced the revered soaring dragon cultivation technique. These remains presented a unique opportunity for rapid advancement, allowing cultivators to expedite their progress to the next stage of the revered cultivation method. Given the invaluable nature of this gift, Emperor Wang ultimately chose to accept the offering. Consequently, he issued a decree prohibiting any Emperor Realm expert from trespassing into the sacred dominion of the Butterfly Spirit race. This agreement would stand as long as no Emperor Realm expert breached the boundaries of the everlasting Mystic Empire. Any such intrusion, for whatever reason, would instantaneously dissolve the pact, paving the way for potential conflict and chaos. As Wang Jian embarked on his journey towards the sacred dominion of the Butterfly Spirit race, news of the prohibition for Emperor Realm experts to enter the region reached his ears. Reacting to the information, a wry smile curled upon his lips, accompanied by a soft derisive snort. Ah, the world essence truly spares no expense to ensure Yi-Chen won't face any significant disadvantages, he mused to himself, his thoughts tinged with a mix of amusement and calculation. But, interestingly enough, this turn of events works in my favor as well. With the absence of Emperor Realm experts, it provides me with a better opportunity to maintain control over the unfolding situation. The vanguard of the sacred dominion of the Butterfly Spirit race was graced by the arrival of the Crown Prince's faction, the first among the major forces to reach its edge. Their swift and elegant entry was befitting, for they rode atop the magnificent and agile Mystic Azure rocks, known to be the swiftest beasts in the entire empire. Mounted upon these graceful creatures, the members of the Crown Prince's faction surged forward, their presence commanding and their speed unmatched. Meanwhile, the other factions, including those led by the Second Princess, the Third Prince, and Wang Jian, were not far behind. They too approached the sacred dominion, but their choice of steeds differed. Astride powerful and majestic griffins, they soared through the skies, their wings beating in perfect harmony with the wind, as they closed the distance to the hallowed grounds of the Butterfly Spirit race. Upon reaching their destination, the Crown Prince's faction rendezvoused with the delegation of beasts that had come to meet them. To their surprise, they learned that the physical presence of the revered Butterfly Spirit Queen was not among them. Instead, she employed a remarkable artifact through which she created a spiritual illusion construct. This extraordinary creation, intricately linked to the essence of the Butterfly Spirit Queen, enabled her to project an illusionary form of a beautiful butterfly that would serve as her conduit, facilitating communication with the visiting faction. The spiritual illusion construct was a manifestation of the Queen's mystical prowess, allowing her ethereal essence to be present and engage with the human representatives as if she were physically there. Crown Prince Wang Hao's voice was measured as he addressed the beasts. We require a comprehensive understanding of these demons. What are their strengths and weaknesses? Every detail is crucial and will help us make informed decisions. There is not much we know about these demons. It's just that they are completely different from the demons we have fought before. They seem to come from a different place, responded the Butterfly Spirit Queen. What about their appearance? Any ability that you might recall, Wang Hao asked with a frown. The Butterfly Spirit Queen pondered the question for a moment, her ethereal voice resonating with a tinge of sadness. Most of those demons possessed an ominous and primal aura, their physical forms twisted and grotesque. Their appearance alone evoked a sense of dread. They bore jagged horns jutting from their heads, while their skin, resembling weathered leather or dark scales, exuded an unsettling shade of ashen gray or obsidian black. Their eyes, ablaze with an eerie malevolence, pierced through the very soul. She continued, her voice tinged with concern. However, amidst their ranks, there are a select few who possess a mesmerizing opalescent skin. Their ethereal hues mimic the tranquil surface of the sea, ranging from the depths of sapphire to the iridescent hues of turquoise. These particular demons are of unparalleled strength, effortlessly dismantling our carefully constructed arrays and defenses. They wrought havoc upon us, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake, as they mercilessly slaughtered our comrades, ultimately reaching the heart of our domain. Her words painted a vivid picture of the demons' sinister nature, their distinct appearances, and the devastating impact they had inflicted upon the beast races. A frown creased Wang Hao's face as he listened to the vivid description of the grotesque and twisted demons. He couldn't help but recall the encounters his forces had faced with similar creatures in the northern regions. While acknowledging the power of these formidable foes, Wang Hao remained confident in his force's ability to overcome them. However, it was the demons adorned with opalescent skin that posed an unprecedented and formidable challenge. As per the detailed account provided by the Butterfly Spirit Queen, these particular demons surpassed the strength and ferocity of the ones previously encountered by Wang Hao's forces. After engaging in a prolonged conversation with the enigmatic Butterfly Spirit Queen, Wang Hao and his assembled forces set forth, their determined strides leading them towards the very heart of the forest now under the grip of these menacing demons. Shortly after Wang Hao's departure, the second princess arrived at the scene, her arrival marked by an exchange of words with the ethereal Butterfly Spirit Queen. Driven by her unwavering resolve to reclaim the forest from the clutches of darkness, she charted a distinct path, ensuring that her forces would enter the forest through a separate entry point, intentionally avoiding any overlap with Wang Hao's contingent. Amidst the unfolding events, Yi Chen had deftly penetrated the dense forest, utilizing his tactical acumen to hunt down the demons with surgical precision. His unwavering determination propelled him forward, incessantly pushing towards the heart of the forest where the demons held the captive beasts. Like all other experts, Yi Chen was also driven by an insatiable desire for the coveted Butterfly Spirit Queen's mark. But that wasn't the only motivation behind his actions. Yi Chen had seen the Butterfly Spirit Queen once and had been enamored by her ever since. However, the queen remained elusive, hiding inside a concealed hideout protected by an illusion talisman array. Yi Chen believed that by liberating her race from the clutches of the demons, he would earn her admiration and pave the way for a possible meeting. Alas, his aspirations were dealt a severe blow as the relentless waves of demons surged forth from the central region, fiercely repelling his advances time and time again. Despite his tactical prowess and valiant efforts, Yi Chen was forced to retreat, unable to breach the formidable defenses of the demons guarding the heart of the forest. As Yi Chen contemplated his next move, a distant commotion reached his ears, a battle was raging nearby. Intrigued and perplexed, he swiftly made his way towards the source of the tumult. To his astonishment, a sizable contingent of humans was locked in combat with the demons. The clash between the two factions was fierce and chaotic, with spells and weapons colliding in a whirlwind of violence. In the midst of the tumultuous scene, Yi Chen caught a glimpse of Crown Prince Wang Hao, a commanding figure leading the charge against the demonic horde. The sight left Yi Chen both surprised and curious, wondering what circumstances had brought the Crown Prince to the forefront of this conflict. The allure of the Butterfly Spirit Queen's mark must be truly captivating for the Crown Prince to venture all the way to this forest and engage in such an arduous battle with such fervor and urgency. Yi Chen was aware of the Butterfly Spirit Queen's mark's value and importance, but he remained oblivious to its specific properties and capabilities. Despite this, he knew that possessing it would undoubtedly bring him significant advantages. Additionally, a shrewd deduction formed in Yi Chen's mind. If Crown Prince Wang Hao had made his presence known, it was highly likely that Second Princess Wang Ying was also partaking in the unfolding events. With determination in his heart, Yi Chen set out on a quest to locate the forces led by Second Princess Wang Ying. He surmised that she must have strategically chosen a different entry point into the forest, deliberately avoiding direct confrontation with the Crown Prince's faction. Thus, Yi Chen was forced to go around the outer section of the woods to find Wang Ying's faction. In the meantime, Wang Jian's faction met up with the beasts outside the butterfly spirit race's sacred dominion, Vist and Velben. CM for new updates. After engaging in a conversation with the mystical beasts, Wang Jian came to a startling realization that both the crown prince and the second princess had already arrived, accompanied by formidable forces. Intrigued by the butterfly spirit queen's illusory form, Wang Jian couldn't help but be consumed by curiosity about her true appearance. However, despite his attempts to utilize his spiritual sensitivity to pinpoint her exact location, all he could discern was a vague direction leading to a vast and enigmatic area veiled by a powerful illusion array. To his dismay, Wang Jian found himself at a loss when it came to unraveling the secrets of this perplexing illusion array. Even after consulting with the Liu family and other factions within his alliance, it became apparent that they, too, were powerless against it. This illusion array, intricately woven with the bloodline techniques of the mystical beasts, utilized their essence cores instead of conventional elemental stones or human methods, rendering it impervious to their knowledge and expertise. Therefore, Wang Jian devised an alternative approach, opting for a strategy that would compel them to reveal themselves. He strategized to flush them out of their concealed positions. With careful consideration, Wang Jian's formidable forces advanced into the sacred dominion of the butterfly spirit race, deliberately choosing the eastern route to avoid any direct clashes with the armies led by Wang Ying and Wang Hao. As Wang Jian's forces pressed forward, they encountered a surprisingly sparse number of demons along their path. Wang Jian speculated that this could be attributed to the bulk of the demon forces being concentrated in the vicinity of Wang Hao and Wang Ying's armies. It appeared that the demons had diverted their main strength to counter the imminent threats posed by the crown prince and the second princess. As Wang Jian's forces continued their steady advance through the forest, a sudden and astonishing event unfolded within the hidden sanctuary where the butterfly spirit queen and the surviving beasts had sought refuge after the onslaught of the demons. This secluded hideout, nestled deep within another forest adjacent to the sacred dominion of the butterfly spirit race, was protected by a formidable illusionary array. The forest itself possessed extraordinary qualities, with trees imbued with an inherent resilience against chi attacks and conventional elemental assaults. However, Wang Jian's flames were far from ordinary. His mastery of the flame laws had granted him profound insight, placing him at the middle stage of the insight and laws of flames. As a result, his flames possessed an unparalleled density and potency, surpassing the norm. Harnessing the immense power of his specialized flames, Wang Jian strategically set ablaze the northern, western, and southern perimeters of the forest. This calculated action served a purpose far beyond mere destruction. It was a deliberate effort to create a path of escape for the trapped beasts. By clearing a passage through the engulfed sections, Wang Jian intended to guide the desperate creatures directly towards his waiting forces, positioning himself as their ultimate savior. The group of beasts led by the stunning butterfly spirit queen successfully emerged from the forest, with little harm done by the flames. As Wang Jian had anticipated, the queen herself appeared, accompanied by hundreds of other beasts. Ariad updated *rise at n/vel/bin.com. Wang Jian found himself unable to resist gazing at the resplendent butterfly spirit queen, who possessed a truly ethereal and mesmerizing beauty. The queen's appearance, a testament to her superior beast bloodline, was a breathtaking sight to behold. Her lustrous silver hair flowed gracefully down her back, glimmering like moonlight on a tranquil lake. Adorning her regal countenance was a scarlet crown, symbolizing her authority and grace. Her captivating blue eyes sparkled with an enigmatic allure, holding a depth that seemed to reveal the secrets of the universe. Drifting around her slender form was a flowing blue dress, intricately designed to accentuate her ethereal allure. The gown, both elegant and daring, revealed a hint of her alluring cleavage and featured a daring cut over her navel, adding an enchanting touch of allure. A white cloth, artfully draped, cascaded down her legs, delicately concealing her beautifully thick limbs while hinting at their captivating curves. Wang Jian couldn't help but be captivated by the butterfly spirit queen's extraordinary beauty, a sight that left him in awe. Simultaneously, the butterfly spirit queen cast her observant gaze upon Wang Jian, taking note of his striking and distinguished appearance. His handsome features were undeniably captivating, drawing her attention to his silver locks of hair that gleamed like molten moonlight. His eyes, a mesmerizing shade of blue akin to the vast expanse of the heavens, stood in contrast to her own eyes, which held a subtle hint of turquoise amidst their cerulean depths. As the queen's perceptive gaze lingered upon Wang Jian, she couldn't help but admire the harmonious blend of strength and gentleness reflected in his countenance. His chiseled features exuded an air of confidence and determination, while his piercing blue eyes seemed to hold a glimpse of the boundless sky itself, capturing her curiosity and intrigue. The sight of Wang Jian evoked a subtle flutter within the queen's heart, a recognition of the undeniable allure that emanated from this formidable warrior. "Hello, Wang Jian. My name is Stella, and I am the butterfly spirit queen. As you can see, I am the leader of these beasts, Stella said, her voice soft and soothing. Greetings, Stella, Wang Jian addressed her with a seemingly genuine concern, his voice dripping with deceit. As you are well aware, I am Wang Jian, the esteemed seventh prince of the everlasting mystic empire. I must inquire, what has brought your group into this perilous forest? It is a treacherous domain, rife with lurking demons lying in wait for unsuspecting prey, he cautioned, his words carefully crafted to mask his true intentions. In reality, Wang Jian's apparent worry was nothing more than a smokescreen, carefully constructed to veil his own culpability in the forest's fiery demise. Stella relayed the distressing news of the engulfed forest near their secluded hideout, her voice tinged with frustration. Those wicked demons must be responsible. Unable to locate our sanctuary, they resorted to scorching the entire forest. I never imagined they could set ablaze those resilient trees, she lamented. Wang Jian responded with a solemn nod, his expression reflecting a newfound sense of seriousness. Indeed, this serves as a stark reminder that we must not underestimate the demons, he acknowledged. His gaze then shifted toward Stella's group, a glimmer of cunning in his eyes as he proposed an idea. Considering the perilous nature of this forest, it would be unwise for your group to wander alone. I suggest you join forces with us. Together, we can navigate the treacherous paths to the heart of the forest, while we provide protection against the relentless onslaught of demons. It truly is a splendid arrangement, don't you think? He enticed, his words laced with an air of enticing persuasion. Stella appeared swayed by the proposal, her conviction mirrored by the agreement of her comrades. It seemed that Wang Jian's plan was unfolding just as he had foreseen. Observing Stella's response, a malevolent smile curled upon Wang Jian's lips. Every piece was falling into place according to his calculated scheme. A slender beam of radiant light materialized, swirling in an intricate circular pattern above Wang Jian's head, casting an ethereal glow that bathed the surroundings in an eerie illumination. Stop! You are on the brink of committing a grave error. A commanding voice echoed through the air, originating from the southern direction. Both the beasts, including the butterfly spirit queen and the members of Wang Jian's faction, turned their attention towards the source of the voice, their expressions filled with astonishment. Emerging from the south was a formidable force led by none other than the third prince, Wang Chen. Clutched firmly in his grasp was a peculiar artifact shaped like a compass, adorned with a flickering wisp of orange flame. A furrow formed on Wang Jian's brow as he immediately recognized the compass. It was the mystical qi tracing compass. This device was typically wielded by hunters and assassins, harnessing its power to track the qi signatures of their targets and unveil their location with uncanny accuracy. The mystical qi tracing compass required nothing more than the mere presence of qi to activate, emitting a unique ray that guided its user towards the source of the enigmatic energy. I am Wang Chen, the third prince of the empire, and I have come here to enlighten you that the one responsible for the burning of the forest which housed your sanctuary is none other than my foolish brother. Wang Chen's voice boomed through the air, resolute and filled with righteous indignation. Lifting the compass high, he continued, his words laced with determination, utilizing this mystical qi tracing compass, I have successfully traced the fiery trail back to him. The beasts, including the regal butterfly spirit queen, were taken aback by this revelation, their voices erupting in a chorus of disbelief and astonishment. What? They exclaimed in unison. Stella, sensing the undeniable connection between the flames and the forest's destruction, could not contain the surge of hatred that surged within her eyes as she locked her gaze onto Wang Jian. You will pay dearly for your transgressions. Stella's voice rang out, laced with a seething intensity. A wry expression crept across Wang Jian's face as he commanded members of his faction, a sense of resignation in his tone, prepare yourselves for battle. Henceforth, an immense clash ensued, pitting Wang Jian's faction against the subservient beasts under the dominion of the resplendent butterfly spirit queen and Wang Chen's loyal supporters. The battleground became a theater of chaos and conflict, where the clash of weapons and the resonance of elemental powers filled the air with a symphony of war. While the relentless clash between Wang Jian's forces, Wang Chen's faction, and the beasts raged on, an event of paramount importance unfolded in a separate corner of the forest, a development closely tied to the Crown Prince's faction. Wang Hao, accompanied by his loyal followers, had decimated countless demons in their path. Yet, their search for a demon with opalescent skin had proven fruitless thus far. Consequently, a sense of caution enveloped Wang Hao as he guided his forces deeper into the enigmatic forest. After a grueling half-day of trekking, they finally encountered a demon bearing the sought-after opalescent skin. Though the demon's physical form bore a resemblance to that of a human, his unique complexion, devilish eyes, and formidable aura set him apart. With a curious and somewhat mocking tone, the demon addressed the Crown Prince's faction, "Ah, so you are the foolish humans who dared to assail us. Pray tell, What name do you go by? Maintaining an air of calm authority, Wang Hao responded, I am Wang Hao, the crown prince of the everlasting mystic empire. Consider this your final warning, retreat from this forest, and you shall be spared the full brunt of my wrath. The demon snorted in derision, his voice laced with disdain. Do you truly believe you can intimidate a member of the illustrious Oceanic Tempest Storm Devil bloodline? You are sorely mistaken. With unmistakable pride, the demon declared, I am Dylan, and I shall be the one to claim your life. Seizing the fleeting moment, the two opposing forces collided with fervor, unleashing a tempest of violence and fury. Their minds became consumed by a singular purpose, the annihilation of their adversaries. Blades clashed and spells crackled in the air as the combatants engaged in a relentless dance of death. Each strike was fueled by a burning desire to overpower the opponent and emerge victoriously. Amidst the chaotic fray, the forest echoed with fierce shouts and thunderous battle cries, each sound imbued with a primal energy that stirred the very essence of the battleground. The clash of steel against steel, accompanied by surges of elemental forces, intensified the atmosphere, igniting an inferno of unyielding determination. Wang Hao initially engaged in a swift and decisive slaughter of the approaching demon group. With effortless grace, he dispatched his foes, leaving a trail of fallen adversaries in his wake. Yet, his thirst for victory pushed him to seek further carnage, intending to cripple the enemy ranks. However, a figure emerged from the chaos, a wicked grin adorning his face. It was Dylan, his presence exuding a feral menace. You will face me, Dylan declared, leaping towards Wang Hao with unbridled ferocity. Remaining composed, Wang Hao drew forth his glaive, a formidable weapon at the pinnacle of the King realm. The aura emanating from Dylan made him wary, prompting Wang Hao to withhold his full strength, a caution born from respect for his opponent's potential. Dylan charged forward, his Tempest Fury fist crackling with the raging power of the ocean. With a thunderous roar, he unleashed a whirlwind of water and wind towards Wang Hao. Sensing the impending danger, Wang Hao swiftly infused his glaive with the power of the gold element, preparing to counter Dylan's assault. As Dylan's devastating punch neared, Wang Hao's insight in the laws of gold element guided him to execute the perfect defense. With a swift and precise movement, he unleashed the gilded sunbeam strike, channeling pure golden light into his glaive. The concentrated beam sliced through Dylan's whirlwind, shattering it and continuing its path towards Dylan. However, Dylan was quick to react. He infused his thundering wave palm with concentrated water and sound, releasing a shockwave that disrupted the trajectory of Wang Hao's gilded sunbeam strike. The clash between the golden light and the powerful shockwave created a deafening boom that resonated throughout the forest. Undeterred, Wang Hao pressed on, his glaive still gleaming with the intensity of molten gold. He swiftly swung his weapon in a wide arc, unleashing the auric celestial slicer. The blade of golden energy effortlessly cut through the remnants of Dylan's attack, leaving behind a trail of shimmering light. It closed in on Dylan, who attempted to counter with a hydro vortex projection. The spinning vortex of water launched towards Wang Hao, pulling him in with its force. Yet, Wang Hao's deep insight in the laws of gold element guided him once again. With a single, well-timed thrust, he executed the auric piercer, infusing his glaive with a pale golden glow. The ethereal power of moonlight allowed his attack to bypass Dylan's defense, piercing through the vortex and striking Dylan with precision. Although Dylan staggered under the onslaught, his resilience was fueled by his devil bloodline. His body regenerated swiftly, his wounds healing with remarkable speed. But Wang Hao's relentless assault and superior understanding of the laws of gold element began to take its toll. With each clash, Dylan found himself gradually losing ground, his attacks unable to match the efficiency and power of Wang Hao's techniques. As the battle raged on, Wang Hao unleashed the golden cascade assault, spinning his glaive overhead. The cascading shower of golden energy rained down upon Dylan, each strike carrying the force and intensity of a crashing waterfall. Despite Dylan's attempts to defend himself, the onslaught overwhelmed him, causing him to be thrown backward. Seeing an opportunity, Wang Hao capitalized on Dylan's momentary vulnerability. He swiftly executed the shimmering gold star thrust, condensing his energy into a small but intensely powerful golden star at the tip of his glaive. With blinding speed and explosive force, the star propelled towards Dylan, striking him with devastating impact. Although Dylan's devil bloodline allowed him to regenerate, the injuries inflicted by Wang Hao's attacks started to accumulate. The golden light seemed to seep into Dylan's wounds, hindering his regeneration process. Dylan's subordinates, witnessing their leader's struggles, fought harder to protect him, but they too found themselves outmatched by Wang Hao's followers. With determination in his eyes, Wang Hao pressed his advantage, unleashing the gleaming gold strike slash. With a powerful slash, he released a wave of shimmering golden energy that tore through Dylan's weakening defenses, leaving behind a trail of radiant destruction. As Dylan lay against the tree, his body battered and his spirit injured, he struggled to regain his footing. The forest around him was filled with the sounds of battle as Wang Hao's followers and Dylan's subordinates clashed fiercely. Despite the odds stacked against him, Dylan refused to yield, fueled by his indomitable will. Summoning his remaining strength, Dylan pushed himself up from the ground, his eyes filled with determination. He knew he had to find a way to turn the tide of the battle. With a renewed sense of focus, he gathered the energy of the surrounding atmosphere, condensing it into an aquatic torrent blast. The powerful projectile shot forward like a torrential blast, aimed directly at Wang Hao. Wang Hao, sensing the incoming attack, swiftly activated his glimmering serpent's fang technique. His glaive transformed into a shimmering golden fang, ready to pierce through any defense. As the aquatic torrent blast closed in, it collided with Wang Hao's serpent-like blade, creating a clash of elements. Water and golden energy clashed, creating a spectacular display of shimmering mist and radiant light. The force of the collision sent shockwaves rippling through the forest, causing trees to sway and leaves to flutter to the ground. Yet, Wang Hao's mastery of the laws of gold element proved superior. His glimmering serpent's fangs sliced through the aquatic torrent blast, dispersing it into misty droplets that fell harmlessly to the ground. Dylan's heart sank as he realized his attack had failed to break through Wang Hao's defenses. The injuries he had sustained were taking a toll, and his energy was waning. Sensing his vulnerability, Wang Hao pressed forward, his golden glaive gleaming with determination. In a last-ditch effort, Dylan unleashed his ultimate technique. Gathering the power of the storm, he channeled it into his thundering wave palm, amplifying its strength and reach. The force of his strike created a shockwave that echoed through the forest, shaking the very ground beneath their feet. With lightning crackling through his veins, Dylan thrust his palm forward, releasing the thundering wave palm towards Wang Hao. But Wang Hao, with his heightened insight and quick reflexes, anticipated the attack. He swiftly executed the Golden Lotus Blossom, a graceful and fluid glaive technique that imbued his weapon with the essence of a golden lotus. As Dylan's thundering wave palm collided with Wang Hao's Golden Lotus Blossom, a clash of titanic proportions ensued. The shockwaves generated by their clash reverberated through the forest, causing nearby trees to splinter and topple. The sheer force of their powers pushed both combatants backward, their feet sliding across the forest floor. But even in this climactic clash, Wang Hao's superiority became evident. The Golden Lotus Blossom burst forth, unleashing a burst of golden energy in the shape of blooming lotus petals. The petals struck Dylan with both beauty and devastating power, overwhelming his weakened defenses. Dylan's body was sent hurtling through the air, crashing into the ground with a resounding thud. Blood trickled from his wounds, staining the earth beneath him. Though his devil bloodline granted him remarkable regenerative abilities, however, even it had its limits. The battle between Dylan and Wang Hao soon came to an end as it was the Crown Prince's victory over the demons. Dylan's subordinates immediately escaped after Dylan was defeated. The demons that were escaping were heading back to the heart of the forest. Other than the King Realm warriors of Wang Hao's faction, it was Guanyin who distinguished herself in this battle as she provided her Crimson Guards group with precise instructions that allowed them to slaughter a large number of demons while keeping their casualties at a minimum. It was also due to her instructions that the Crimson Guards managed to capture the greatest number of demons alive. Dylan and many of his subordinates had been captured. Wang Hao planned to interrogate them regarding the motive of these demons for capturing the butterfly spirit race's sacred dominion. As Wang Hao's group pressed deeper into the mysterious depths of the forest, fate weaved a parallel tale for Wang Ying's faction. They, too, found themselves entangled in a harrowing confrontation, confronted by an ominous presence that bore the oceanic tempest storm devil bloodline. The atmosphere crackled with an electric intensity as Wang Ying's faction came face to face with a formidable demon horde. Led by a commanding figure, a descendant of the oceanic tempest storm lineage, the enemy exuded an aura of turbulent power that stirred the very air around them. Diverging from her elder brother Wang Hao's approach, Wang Ying understood the weight of this formidable encounter and chose not to face the oceanic tempest storm demon alone. By her side stood Elder Hua, a seasoned warrior and member of the Hua clan while also being an elder of the Lotus Blossom sect, and a colossal king realm beast from the mystic creature handlers union known as the Terraclaw Ravager, renowned for its indomitable strength and a primal fury. Together, the trio stood resolute, prepared to confront the demon named Ethan, hailing from the oceanic tempest storm devil bloodline. Wang Ying, adorned in her flowing ice-blue robes, held her gleaming spear tightly, its surface glistening with frost. Her eyes focused, she channeled her mastery over water and ice elements, ready to unleash her frozen arsenal upon her enemies. Her subordinates, skilled warriors themselves, engaged in fierce battles against the demonic forces accompanying Ethan, fighting valiantly to protect their mistress and stall the advance of their adversaries. Meanwhile, Elder Hua, garbed in her wind-swept garments, grasped her sword with a firm grip, the blade humming with electrifying energy. She stood beside Wang Ying, her gaze piercing and determined, her lightning-imbued strikes ready to unleash devastation upon her opponents. The colossal Terraclaw Ravager, a hulking creature with jagged claws and an earth-encrusted exterior, loomed behind them. Its massive form exuded an aura of raw power and unyielding defense, prepared to shake the very foundation of the forest with its earth-shattering might. As the battle commenced, Ethan, standing at the forefront, tapped into the depths of his oceanic tempest storm devil bloodline. With each passing moment, his aura grew more potent, and a tempestuous energy enveloped his form. It was as if the raging power of the ocean had merged with his very being. Ethan's first move was to summon the might of the oceanic tempest storm devil bloodline as he unleashed the Tempest Fury Fist. With a resounding roar, he launched a devastating punch infused with the swirling forces of water and wind. The resulting whirlwind surged forward, colliding with Wang Ying's frostwater thrust in a spectacular clash. The impact reverberated through the forest, ice meeting water and wind with an explosion of freezing mist and gushing torrents. The clash seemed to halt for a moment, but Ethan's prowess shone through as he skillfully neutralized Wang Ying's attack. His innate understanding of the water element, granted by his bloodline, allowed him to effortlessly counter her ice-cold assault. Undeterred, Wang Ying swiftly transitioned into her next technique, the frozen torrent assault. She thrust her spear forward, unleashing a torrent of freezing water that solidified into piercing ice projectiles. The shards hurtled toward Ethan, attempting to pierce his defenses and immobilize him. But Ethan's Oceanic Tempest Storm Devil bloodline empowered him with the insight of laws related to water, allowing him to anticipate and evade the icy onslaught with astonishing agility. As Ethan evaded Wang Ying's attack, Elder Hua seized the opportunity to strike. She employed the Gale Force Strike, channeling the power of the wind into her sword. With a swift and forceful motion, she unleashed a strike that generated a gust of wind, aiming to knock Ethan off balance and disrupt his equilibrium. However, Ethan, his senses heightened by his bloodline's power, anticipated the attack and managed to maintain his stance, weathering the turbulent winds with unwavering determination. The Terraclaw Ravager, sensing the need to join the fray, launched into action with a thunderous roar. It unleashed an earthquake slam, slamming its colossal claws into the ground, creating a powerful shockwave that rippled through the earth. As the ground trembled beneath Ethan's feet, he swiftly tapped into his Oceanic Tempest Storm Devil bloodline's powers. With a focused gaze, he channeled the raging power of the ocean into his fists, activating the Tempest Fury Fist. His punch collided with the shockwave, unleashing a whirlwind of water and wind that countered the Terraclaw Ravager's attack. The clash of elemental forces created a spectacular display of power, causing water and earth to collide in a chaotic dance. The force of the impact sent shockwaves rippling through the forest, uprooting trees and scattering debris in all directions. The Terraclaw Ravager, momentarily caught off guard, staggered backward, its massive form momentarily disrupted. Seeing an opening, Wang Ying and Elder Hua capitalized on the distraction. Wang Ying unleashed her frozen torrent assault, gathering water and frost energy from the surrounding environment. With a swift thrust of her spear, a powerful torrent of freezing water surged forward, solidifying into sharp ice projectiles. The icy onslaught pierced through the air, aimed at Ethan's vulnerable position. Meanwhile, Elder Hua infused her sword with crackling lightning energy, preparing to strike with her lightning-imbued attacks. She executed a lightning-fast whirlwind blade dance, creating a swirling vortex of wind around her. As she delivered precise strikes, each strike carried the force of a powerful gust, aiming to knock back and disorient Ethan. However, to their surprise, Ethan's Oceanic Tempest Storm Devil bloodline granted him exceptional adaptability and resilience. As the icy projectiles and lightning-infused strikes neared him, he instinctively tapped into his bloodline's abilities. With a swift motion, Ethan summoned a cyclone whirlwind slash, spinning rapidly and generating a cyclone of water and wind around his body. The cyclone acted as a protective shield, deflecting the incoming ice projectiles and dispersing the lightning strikes, neutralizing the threat of Wang Ying and Elder Hua's attacks. As the cyclone dissipated, Ethan unleashed an aquatic torrent blast, gathering water energy from the atmosphere and condensing it into a powerful projectile. The torrential blast shot forward with immense impact, aiming directly at Wang Ying and Elder Hua. Sensing the danger, Wang Ying swiftly activated her Misty Glacier Piercer, enveloping herself and her spear in a dense mist. As Ethan's projectile approached, the mist transformed into an icy glacier, impaling the torrential blast and redirecting its force away from Wang Ying and Elder Hua. The battlefield became a chaotic spectacle of elemental clashes and powerful techniques. Wang Ying's subordinates continued their fierce battles against the demons, utilizing their own skills to fend off the relentless assaults. Wang Ying, impressed by Ethan's ability to counter her ice and water-based attacks, recognized that his bloodline contained traces of insight of laws related to the water element. Ethan, not content with merely defending against his opponents, unleashed a devastating combination of his own. He summoned the Thundering Wave Palm, thrusting his palm forward and releasing a shockwave of concentrated water and sound. The force of the attack created a deafening boom, disorienting and weakening his adversaries. With his enemies momentarily stunned, Ethan followed up with a powerful Maelstrom eruption kick. With a graceful leap, Ethan soared into the air, his body spinning like a cyclone of power. As he descended, his foot connected with the ground, unleashing an earth-shaking kick imbued with immense force. The impact birthed a colossal column of water, surging forth from the earth's depths, engulfing the Terraclaw Ravager, Wang Ying, and Elder Hua in its torrential embrace. Helpless against its force, they were hurled backward, their bodies tossed like ragdolls in the fierce current. Sensing the gravity of the situation, Elder Hua's voice carried a weighty urgency. "Your Highness, our spirits must be summoned to vanquish this formidable demon," she asserted, her tone laced with determination. Wang Ying, recognizing the wisdom in Elder Hua's words, nodded in agreement. "Indeed, the time has come to unleash the full potential of our spirits," she affirmed, her resolve unyielding. In response, Elder Hua's spiritual power surged forth, manifesting into a radiant blue light that coalesced into the form of the Skyblade Wolf, a majestic spirit embodying the ethereal power of the heavens. Simultaneously, Wang Ying called upon her own spirit, the legendary Frostwave Kraken Sovereign. This majestic creature materialized as a colossal kraken, its immense form adorned with a frost-kissed aura. With icy tentacles that exuded authority over frozen realms, it wielded the might of tidal waves and ice spikes, poised to unleash devastation upon Wang Ying's adversaries, ensuring they would be overwhelmed by the chilling depths of its power. The battleground crackled with anticipation as Wang Ying, Elder Hua, and their formidable spirits, the Frostwave Kraken Sovereign and the Skyblade Wolf, prepared to engage Ethan in a battle of extraordinary proportions. Wang Ying, her eyes ablaze with determination, called upon the Frostwave Kraken Sovereign's boundless might. With a thunderous roar, the colossal kraken surged forward, its frost-tinged tentacles lashing out with unrivaled precision. It unleashed a devastating technique known as Glacial Torrent Barrage, conjuring a torrential wave of freezing water that cascaded toward Ethan, threatening to engulf him in its icy embrace. Ethan, quick on his feet, evaded the oncoming assault with a nimble maneuver, his Oceanic Tempest Storm Devil bloodline granting him heightened agility and reflexes. Sensing an opportunity, he retaliated with a lightning-fast strike, channeling his power into a technique called Tempest Fury Barrage. Swift as a cyclone, his fists became a blur of motion as they unleashed a barrage of kinetic energy upon Wang Ying and Elder Hua, creating shockwaves that reverberated through the battlefield. Not to be outmatched, Elder Hua's Skyblade Wolf leaped into action, harnessing the power of the wind to its advantage. The majestic spirit maneuvered with ethereal grace, its movements resembling a swirling gust. With a resounding howl, it executed the Galeblade Whirlwind Slash, slashing through the air with its shimmering claws, conjuring slicing winds that sliced through Ethan's defenses. Undeterred, Ethan tapped into the depths of his Oceanic Tempest Storm Devil bloodline, summoning his own tempestuous power. He unleashed a devastating counterattack, employing the technique known as Typhoon Surge Strike. A maelstrom of energy enveloped his body as he lunged forward, his fists wreathed in crackling lightning. With each strike, he aimed to disperse the force of the Skyblade Wolf's assault, creating shockwaves that disrupted the ethereal winds. As the battle intensified, Wang Ying and Elder Hua's synchronicity became apparent. With a shared understanding, they coordinated their efforts, combining the might of their spirits with their own formidable skills. Wang Ying commanded the Frostwave Kraken Sovereign to execute the Sub-Zero Tsunami Slam, summoning a colossal wave of frigid water that surged toward Ethan, threatening to freeze him in his tracks. However, Ethan, drawing upon the resilience of his Oceanic Tempest Storm Devil bloodline, summoned an impenetrable shield of swirling water, deflecting the Sub-Zero onslaught. Seizing the opportunity, he retaliated with the Storm Surge Torrent, unleashing a spiraling vortex of raging currents that surged toward Wang Ying and Elder Hua, aiming to overwhelm them with the force of nature itself. The battle raged on, each participant pushing their limits, exploring the depths of their power. The clash of elemental forces created a symphony of destruction, shaking the very foundation of the battlefield. The Skyblade Wolf weaved through the chaos, employing the Zephyr Slash Dance, a mesmerizing display of blinding speed and precision, aiming to confound and disorient Ethan with its relentless assault. Ethan, undeterred, channeled his Oceanic Tempest Storm Devil bloodline to its pinnacle, his form shrouded in an electrifying aura. He unleashed the devastating lightning tempest annihilation, an all-encompassing assault that unleashed a cataclysmic surge of lightning-infused water, seeking to engulf both the Frostwave Kraken Sovereign and the Skyblade Wolf in an unstoppable torrent of destruction. But Wang Ying and Elder Hua, masters of strategy and resilience, were not so easily defeated. Drawing upon their spirit's elemental prowess, they combined their forces to create an impenetrable defense, conjuring a swirling vortex of freezing winds and raging waters. Their technique, known as the Aquaflurry Blizzard Wall, formed an impregnable barrier that withstood the onslaught, pushing back against Ethan's overwhelming power. As Wang Ying and Elder Hua's Aquaflurry Blizzard Wall stood firm against Ethan's relentless assault, their spirits brimming with determination and unwavering resolve. Sensing the opportune moment, Wang Ying channeled the Frostwave Kraken Sovereign's indomitable power. With a commanding gesture, she unleashed the spirit's ultimate technique, known as the Glacial Cataclysmic Torrent. From the depths of the spirit realm, a cataclysmic surge of icy water surged forth, dwarfing everything in its path. Towering waves crashed upon the battlefield, freezing the air itself and encasing the surroundings in an ethereal frost. The raw force of the glacial cataclysmic torrent threatened to rend the very fabric of reality, aiming to engulf Ethan in an unforgiving grip of frozen devastation. Simultaneously, Elder Hua tapped into the boundless potential of the Skyblade Wolf. With a harmonious blend of wind and spirit, she invoked the spirit's ultimate technique, known as the Zephyr Celestial Blade. A tempest of razor-sharp wind blades materialized, spinning with a velocity that defied comprehension. Each blade possessed the power to slice through mountains, leaving nothing but destruction in their wake. The Zephyr Celestial Blade hurtled toward Ethan, its lethal gales tearing through the battlefield with an indomitable force. The combined might of the Glacial Cataclysmic Torrent and the Zephyr Celestial Blade aimed to strike Ethan with an unstoppable surge of elemental power, hoping to bring an end to his relentless assault. However, Ethan, battered but not broken, refused to yield. With a surge of determination, he gathered the remnants of his strength and invoked his ultimate technique, the Tempestus Oblivion Strike. In a blinding display of power, he summoned a cataclysmic storm of raging winds, crackling lightning, and churning waters, seeking to obliterate everything in its path. The clash between the Glacial Cataclysmic Torrent, the Zephyr Celestial Blade, and the Tempestus Oblivion Strike shook the battlefield to its core. An inferno of elemental chaos erupted, engulfing the combatants in a maelstrom of raw power. Despite Ethan's valiant effort, his ultimate technique proved unable to withstand the overwhelming force unleashed by Wang Ying and Elder Hua. As the dust settled, Ethan lay heavily injured, his body battered and broken by the devastating onslaught. The combined might of the Frostwave Kraken Sovereign and the Skyblade Wolf had proven too formidable to overcome. Wang Ying and Elder Hua stood victorious, their spirits glowing with triumph and exhaustion, as they surveyed the aftermath of the battle. The defeated demons, witnessing Ethan's downfall, hastily retreated from the scene, vanishing into the depths of the surrounding forest. Sensing the danger dissipating, the remaining members of Su Yuding's team sprang into action, distributing restorative pellets to Wang Ying's faction. Gratitude filled the air as the battle had taken its toll, leaving the warriors in need of revitalization. Wang Ying, deeply appreciative of Elder Hua's unwavering support in the face of Ethan's assault, expressed her sincere thanks. Without Elder Hua's aid, victory might have eluded her grasp. Meanwhile, the other formidable King Realm experts of Wang Ying's faction were still locked in fierce combat with the remaining demons, their attention fully consumed by the ongoing battle. Jin Xing, observing the close bond between Wang Ying and Elder Hua, couldn't help but furrow his brow, a subtle sign of disapproval etching across his face. The implications of their rapport weighed on his mind, hinting at a deeper connection that troubled him. Jin Meixiang, a Lord Realm expert who had yet to attain insight into the laws of lightning, felt a pang of frustration as she reflected on the recent battle. Although her talent was undeniable, her abilities were limited on the battlefield, and she yearned for the opportunity to unleash her true potential. For now, she remained determined to further develop her skills and make a more significant impact in future conflicts. Amidst the relentless advance of the Crown Prince's and Second Princess's factions, engaged in fierce combat against formidable demons, their resolute march carried them ever deeper into the foreboding depths of the ancient forest. In a stark contrast of challenges, Wang Jian's faction found themselves ensnared in a harrowing clash against none other than the third Prince Wang Chen's forces, while also contending with a horde of savage beasts. Fortuitously, Wang Chen's forces had no intention of decimating the members of Wang Jian's faction. Instead, their primary objective lay in aiding the Butterfly Spirit Queen's swift departure from the chaotic theater of battle. Accompanied by a loyal retinue of beasts, who shared an unbreakable bond with their sovereign, they forged a determined path towards the western horizon, driven by a mysterious purpose that lay concealed within their collective hearts. However, before relinquishing the field, the Butterfly Spirit Queen unleashed a potent illusionary technique, shrouding the entire battlefield in a captivating veil of deception. Within this illusory realm, the ethereal semblance of the revered queen persisted, locked in fierce combat against her perceived adversaries. Even the stalwart Wang Jian himself fell victim to the beguiling mirage, ensnared within its enchanting grasp. Yet, amidst the labyrinth of illusory threads, two figures remained unaffected, their innate heritage from the illustrious silver-tailed fox race proving to be a beacon of clarity amidst the swirling mists of deception. Lady Zhuoran, endowed with wisdom honed by countless generations, stood resolute alongside her daughter, the intrepid Bishi Shuyan. Possessing an innate proficiency in the art of illusionary techniques, they effortlessly pierced through the veils of illusion, discerning the true nature of the Butterfly Spirit Queen's deceptive ploy. However, rather than exposing the truth to Wang Jian, Lady Zhuoran and Bishi Shuyan clandestinely concealed their knowledge. Their motive lay in providing the Butterfly Spirit Queen with an opportunity to elude Wang Jian's clutches, their hearts harboring a secret desire to ensure her freedom from his relentless pursuit. As the Butterfly Spirit Queen and her loyal companions successfully made their escape, Wang Chen's forces commenced a measured retreat, gradually receding from the battlefield. A faint inkling of unease crept into the depths of Wang Jian's consciousness, stirring a tempest of determination within him. Channeling his formidable spiritual energy, he ignited a radiant blaze of power that surged through his being, shattering the illusory facade that had ensnared his senses. With a jolt of realization, the truth unfurled before him like an unveiled tapestry. With a surge of realization, the truth unraveled before him, revealing its intricate threads like an exquisite tapestry unfurled by a master weaver. Gradually, the battle drew to a close, and members of Wang Jian's faction shifted their focus towards recuperation and healing. The esteemed practitioners of the Tao of Alchemy Society diligently distributed potent recovery pellets to each individual within the faction, ensuring their swift restoration. Meanwhile, Wang Jian engaged in a contemplative discussion with Xie Zhiwei, Lu Yu, and Luo Ying, their expressions filled with curiosity and concern. Eager for clarity, Xie Zhiwei's inquisitive voice broke the silence. Was the third prince's accusation true? Did you truly set ablaze the forest that served as the abode of the Butterfly Queen? Wang Jian sighed deeply, recognizing the futility of concealing the truth, particularly in light of his third brother's compelling evidence. His voice, laced with a composed tone, resonated with honesty. Yes, I cannot deny it. Lu Yu's words cut through the air, laden with a serious tone that mirrored the weight of the situation. You should have sought my aid. By employing my talismans in that inferno, the third prince would have been utterly incapable of tracing the source, he declared, his expression grave. Wang Jian's eyes widened, a flicker of realization illuminating his features. The truth in Lu Yu's words struck him with force, the gravity of his oversight settling upon him like a shroud. Indeed, had he enlisted the assistance of Lu Yu's talismans, the mystic chi tracing compass would have been rendered futile, its attempts to trace the blaze thwarted by the intricate blend of mystical energies infused within the ink. Luo Ying, eager to steer the conversation towards a more constructive path, interjected with a somber tone. But dwelling on what could have been will serve no purpose. Instead, let us focus on what lies ahead. Curiosity tinged Wang Jian's voice as he inquired, and what course of action do you propose? Lu Yu's gaze sharpened, determination gleaming in his eyes. We must press onward, Jian, he declared firmly. Our goal is to defeat the demons and rescue the Butterfly Queen's captive comrades. It is through our actions that we can quell her animosity towards us. Xie Zhiwei shook his head, skepticism etched upon his features. I understand the importance of our mission, but we must not underestimate the demons, he warned. The Butterfly Queen's comrades we encountered during our skirmish displayed formidable strength. Moreover, the demons have established their dominance at the heart of the forest, overpowering a significant number of them. We must proceed with caution. Luo Ying nodded in agreement, his expression grave as he voiced his concerns. Indeed, we must also consider the presence of the Crown Prince's and Second Princess's factions, he said. Engaging in battle against the demons might inadvertently provide them with an opportunity to swoop in and claim the spoils of our struggle. Wang Jian mulled over their words, weighing the risks and possibilities. After a moment of contemplation, he spoke with determination. I propose that we approach the heart of the forest, but refrain from entering immediately, he suggested. Instead, we shall bide our time and observe from a safe distance. Let us wait for the First Princess's and Second Princess's factions to engage the demons in battle. Once they have weakened each other, we can seize the opportune moment to enter and lend our aid. Lu Yu's eyes gleamed with approval, recognizing the prudence in Wang Jian's plan. A strategic move, Jian, he remarked, a faint smile playing on his lips. By allowing the factions to exhaust themselves, we increase our chances of success and minimize potential losses. Xia Jiwei nodded, his skepticism giving way to cautious optimism. It is a calculated approach, he conceded. If we time it right, we can tip the scales in our favor and ensure the best outcome. Luo Ying placed a hand on Wang Jian's shoulder, offering his support. As your friends, Jian, we stand with you, he affirmed. With their plan in place and a renewed sense of purpose, the group of friends set their sights on the heart of the forest, their determination unwavering. As Yichen ventured deeper into the dense outer edges of the forest, his keen eyes surveyed the surroundings, searching for any signs of Wang Ying's faction. Unexpectedly, a scene unfolded before him, an intense clash between a group of valiant beasts and a small contingent of demons, likely tasked with patrolling the area. Amongst the majestic gathering of beasts, a singular ethereal presence emanated a captivating aura. At the forefront, commanding their undivided attention, stood the resplendent figure of the butterfly spirit queen, Stella. Having encountered her before, Yi Chen's recognition of her was immediate, his curiosity piqued. Driven by an innate sense of justice, Yi Chen swiftly advanced, drawing his heavy sword from its sheath with a fluid motion. With a remarkable display of swiftness and precision, he engaged the demons in combat, leaving the awestruck beasts astounded by his prowess. They exchanged bewildered glances, intrigued by the mysterious identity of this powerful human who fought alongside them. Find uptetevils on n/v/elben.co/m. Meanwhile, in order to confront the King Realm demon engaged in combat with the Butterfly Spirit Queen, Yi Chen deftly employed assault talismans, such as the Celestial Sword Talisman and Death-Dealing Sword Talisman. The combined effects of these potent artifacts inflicted significant damage upon the formidable foe, ultimately allowing the Butterfly Spirit Queen to deliver the decisive blow. With the battle's conclusion, Yi Chen approached the group of beasts, his steps measured and respectful. "Greetings, esteemed Butterfly Queen," he addressed Stella, his voice infused with reverence. "I am Yi Chen, and I am deeply intrigued to learn the purpose that has led your group into this perilous forest." His words resonated with sincerity and genuine interest, conveying his earnest desire to understand the intentions of Stella and her companions. Instantly on high alert, Stella and her comrades cast wary gazes upon Yi Chen, their encounter with Wang Jian fueling their caution and suspicion towards humans. In an attempt to maintain a semblance of civility, another beast stepped forward, its tone tinged with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. "Human, what brings you here?" Stella, quick to quell any potential rudeness, interjected with a gentle yet authoritative voice. "Please refrain from impoliteness. It is essential to acknowledge that this human's presence was pivotal in defeating those demons." Turning her attention towards Yi Chen, she continued, "Allow me to introduce myself. I am Stella, the Butterfly Spirit Queen." Explaining the circumstances behind our presence here would be quite an elaborate tale. Yi Chen, appreciating the gravity of the situation and the need for trust, responded with a respectful nod. "Stella, it is an honor to meet you. I assure you that my intentions are genuine, and my actions were driven by a desire to assist. If it is not too much to ask, I would be grateful to hear the story behind your presence in this perilous forest." His words conveyed sincerity and an earnest willingness to understand the situation at hand, establishing a foundation of trust between the human and the beasts. With a sense of urgency, the Butterfly Spirit Queen began recounting the harrowing events that had unfolded. She spared no detail, describing how Wang Jian had callously set her cherished forest ablaze, only to later attempt to deceive her. As the tale unfolded, a flicker of anger ignited within Yi Chen. His usually calm demeanor transformed into a steely resolve, fueled by a deep-rooted sense of justice. He saw an opportunity to further reinforce the negative impression of Wang Jian in the eyes of the Butterfly Spirit Queen. With an air of conviction, Yi Chen spoke, his voice resonating with a mix of anger and concern. "Stella, the truth about Wang Jian's malevolence runs even deeper than you can imagine. Allow me to share with you some harrowing accounts that will solidify your understanding of his true nature." Yi Chen paused, allowing the weight of his words to sink in before continuing. "Did you know that Wang Jian once betrayed his most loyal comrades, forsaking them in pursuit of his own selfish ambitions? He traded their unwavering loyalty for a mere handful of mines, casting them aside like pawns on a chessboard." His voice lowered, brimming with a sense of sorrow and indignation. But his crimes do not end there. Wang Jian has a dark history of eliminating anyone who dares to oppose him. He doesn't just stop at his enemies but ruthlessly extinguishes the lives of innocent bystanders as well, sparing no one who stands in his way. Yi Chen's eyes gleamed with intensity as he revealed another shocking revelation. "And that's not all, Stella. Wang Jian has been known to conduct horrific experiments on innocent beasts, exploiting their vulnerability for his own twisted gain. He has no regard for life, whether human or beast. As Yi Chen spoke of Wang Jian's atrocities, a mixture of shock, anger, and betrayal washed over the butterfly spirit queen and her closest comrades. Their eyes blazed with fury, realizing the true nature of the prince they once thought they could trust. Stella, the resplendent butterfly spirit queen, was the first to break the silence, her voice quivering with a mix of disbelief and fury. I cannot fathom such malevolence, such disregard for life and loyalty. How could Wang Jian stoop so low? Her fellow comrades, a majestic gathering of beasts, exchanged solemn glances, their eyes reflecting the turmoil within their hearts. Anger surged through their veins, and a collective determination to seek justice burned brightly in their eyes. One of the beasts, a majestic lion with a regal mane, stepped forward, his voice resonating with authority and resolve. Stella, it is clear that we have been deceived by Wang Jian's false facade. We must not let his treachery go unpunished. This wicked prince must face the consequences of his actions. The other beasts nodded in agreement, their growls reverberating through the clearing, a symphony of anger against Wang Jian. Stella's ethereal wings fluttered with a newfound determination. Yi Chen, I thank you for informing us of this truth. Wang Jian will not go unchallenged. We shall join forces, and together, we will deliver him justice. Yi Chen met Stella's gaze, his eyes shining with unwavering resolve. Stella, I am honored to stand by your side in this pursuit of justice. Wang Jian's actions have not only harmed you but have also caused great suffering to others. We must ensure that he pays for his crimes. A surge of determination coursed through the veins of the butterfly spirit queen and her comrades, their hearts aflame with a shared purpose. Yet, Stella couldn't shake the reality that confronting Wang Jian's faction head-on would be a daunting and nearly impossible task. Even with the recent aid of Wang Chen's faction, they had failed to inflict any significant damage on Wang Jian's forces. Stella's ethereal voice rang out, carrying a tinge of cautious realism. My dear comrades, we must face the truth. Wang Jian's faction possesses immense power and engaging them directly would be a perilous endeavor. We have witnessed their strength firsthand. Her words echoed through the silent clearing, drawing the attention of the beasts who had rallied behind her. Their eyes betrayed a mixture of determination and concern, their minds grappling with the weight of the situation. One of the more seasoned beasts, a wise old owl with piercing eyes, hooted softly. Stella speaks wisdom. Our previous encounter revealed the formidable might of Wang Jian's faction. We must strategize if we are to have any hope of challenging them. Another beast, a swift and agile fox, nodded in agreement. Indeed, a head-on collision would only result in further casualties and strengthen Wang Jian's hold on power. We need a different approach, one that exploits their weaknesses and outmaneuvers them. Yi Chen, observing the exchange with a glimmer of optimism in his eyes, couldn't help but interject with a sense of strategic determination. His voice carried an air of confidence as he addressed the group. While the task may seem daunting, we must remember that every battle can be won with the right strategy. Stella, the butterfly spirit queen, fluttered her wings in response, conveying a mix of determination and gratitude towards Yi Chen's encouraging words. Your optimism brings hope to our hearts, Yi Chen. We shall exercise patience and wait for the perfect opportunity to strike. Curiosity danced in the eyes of the gathered beasts as they turned their attention towards Yi Chen. Their gazes were filled with anticipation as they awaited his proposed solution. Yi Chen spoke calmly, undeterred by the attention placed upon him. I belong to the faction of the second princess, and I believe that if we can find her within this forest and inform her of Wang Jian's vile actions, she will undoubtedly lend her aid in seeking justice. A spark of excitement ignited within Stella as she eagerly responded, That's a wonderful plan, Yi Chen. Let us set forth on this path. If memory serves me right, the second princess entered the forest from the southern point. It is there that we shall direct our steps. The agreement reverberated among the assembled beasts, their eyes gleaming with renewed purpose and determination. The group, led by Stella and accompanied by Yi Chen, set off through the dense foliage of the forest. Each step carried them closer to their destination, their hearts pulsating with a shared determination to bring Wang Jian's transgressions to light and seek the assistance of the second princess in their noble quest for justice. As Wang Jian's faction pressed forward, their determined strides guiding them deeper into the heart of the forest, they encountered several groups of demons along their path. However, none of these groups possessed the distinctive feature they sought, a demon with opalescent skin. As a result, these encounters proved relatively straightforward, with Wang Jian's faction easily overpowering and defeating their adversaries. Indifferent to the gravity of Wang Jian's actions, the members of his faction displayed a concerning lack of concern regarding his attempted deception of the butterfly spirit queen. In their eyes, such manipulative tactics were deemed acceptable, a necessary means to gain favor with the revered queen of the forest. Explore Ta-Ti stories at no/l/bin.cm. They saw Wang Jian's failed plan as an unfortunate turn of events caused by the unexpected arrival of the third prince, but it did not diminish their regard for Wang Jian. Instead, they remained steadfast in their support, unwavering in their loyalty towards their prince as they pressed forward, their sights still set on the heart of the forest. The atmosphere was charged with excitement as Bishi Shuyan spoke with conviction. "Master, my senses detect a profound and valuable treasure nearby. Its radiant energy emanates from the northwest, beckoning us to explore its mysteries." Wang Jian's eyes widened in surprise, his mind entangled in a web of possibilities. Should he deviate from their original course and venture towards this alluring treasure? The decision weighed heavily on his shoulders as he pondered the potential rewards it could bring. After careful consideration, Wang Jian decided to trust Bishi Shuyan's instincts. With a determined expression, he turned to his loyal faction, his voice brimming with anticipation. "My esteemed comrades, we shall temporarily divert our objective to uncovering this magnificent treasure. I have received a clear reading of its location, and I implore you all to follow me on this thrilling journey of discovery." The members of his faction exchanged excited glances, thrilled by the prospect of unearthing a powerful artifact that could potentially enhance their capabilities and bolster their quest. With renewed vigor, they rallied behind Wang Jian, prepared to navigate the uncharted territory in pursuit of this extraordinary treasure. After a considerable journey, the faction led by Wang Jian stumbled upon a colossal clash that engulfed the surrounding landscape. The scene before them was nothing short of chaotic, as the forces of the Church of Divine Light clashed fiercely against the demonic hordes. Evidently, they had intruded upon a fiercely guarded territory, unleashing a torrent of explosive battles. Among the fray, a captivating sight caught Wang Jian's attention. A demon with mesmerizing opalescent skin stood valiantly, engaging in a fierce duel against two valiant bishops of the Church of Divine Light. The clash of powerful energies resonated in the air, creating a tempestuous symphony of light and darkness. Yet, Wang Jian's gaze shifted, his eyes widening in alarm. Amidst the tumultuous chaos, he spotted the indomitable Hong Meilin, her figure encircled by a swarm of merciless demons. Blood stained her once pristine garments, evidence of the injuries she had sustained. Her resolute spirit and unwavering determination shone through, despite the grim predicament she found herself in. Addressing his faction members, Wang Jian's voice cut through the clamor with an air of urgency. "Everyone, except for the Xie family, let us charge forth and lend our assistance to the church members in this battle against the demons. The members of the Xie family will form a perimeter, ensuring no demon escapes." Turning his attention to the Liu family, Wang Jian continued in a casual yet commanding tone. "Liu family, could you kindly provide the Xie family with a supply of potent assault talismans?" With a nod of affirmation, the Liu family readily agreed, their willingness to contribute evident. Once the Xie family had received the cache of talismans, Wang Jian emphasized their significance with a note of caution. "These talismans are to be used solely in dire circumstances. We still require them for the impending battle against the demons in the heart of the forest." Acknowledging their leader's instructions, the members of his faction echoed in unison, their voices infused with unwavering obedience. "Yes, sir." Wang Jian's faction swiftly sprang into action, with everyone, except for the Xie family, charging at the demons with determined resolve. The church followers, caught off guard by the sudden arrival of such a formidable human force, were momentarily startled. Yet, a glimmer of hope flickered in their eyes, their expressions transforming from despair to a cautious optimism. "Look! Wang Jian's faction has joined the fray," exclaimed one church member, astonishment coloring his voice. "They're fighting against the demons. We might stand a chance now," another church member cried out, a sense of relief and gratitude palpable in her tone. The clash between the humans and demons intensified, and the tide of the battle began to shift. The overwhelming numbers and ferocity of the demons were being met with fierce resistance, their advantage gradually dwindling. "We've been outnumbered for so long, but now we have reinforcements. We can turn the tide," a battle-weary church member exclaimed, his voice tinged with newfound hope. "Finally, we have allies in this fight. Together, we can overcome this onslaught," a determined church member shouted, his words carrying a sense of unity and solidarity. As Wang Jian's faction engaged the demons, their concerted efforts greatly alleviated the pressure on the church members, allowing them to regroup and fortify their positions. "Stay strong. We're not alone anymore." With their help, Victory is within our reach, a church member encouraged, her voice resonating with renewed determination. The demons, once confident in their overwhelming advantage, now faced an adversary that matched their strength. The battle that was once heavily skewed in the demons' favor had become a more even contest, igniting a flicker of hope in the hearts of the church members. In the midst of the chaos, Hong Meilin felt a surge of surprise as the demons encircling her suddenly ignited in a blazing crimson inferno. Startled, she turned her head in the direction of the source, only to be met with the sight of Wang Jian striding toward her, a mischievous grin playing on his lips. Hong Meilin's heart skipped a beat as she locked eyes with him, a mixture of caution and curiosity flickering across her expression. Even the demon with opalescent skin, engaged in his own intense battle, sensed the shift in energy and diverted his attention toward Wang Jian's approach. Recognizing the threat, he swiftly maneuvered through the chaos, making his way towards Hong Meilin's side. Wang Jian halted a few feet away from Hong Meilin, his gaze fixed on her with a mix of amusement and admiration. Well, look who's caught in the midst of this chaos, he remarked, his voice laced with playful banter. Hong Meilin raised an eyebrow, her voice laced with a touch of skepticism. I suppose you're here to save the day? Wang Jian chuckled, a glimmer of mischief dancing in his eyes. Let's just say I couldn't resist the opportunity to lend a helping hand to you. The demon with opalescent skin, emanating a commanding and enigmatic aura, drew nearer, his voice resonating with a deep, rumbling intensity. You are courting death, human. Wang Jian rolled his eyes, a trace of amusement in his voice. Well, I wouldn't be here if I were afraid of a little danger. Unwilling to engage in further banter, Wang Jian unleashed his beam of destruction, a torrent of fiery energy infused with the intricate laws of flames. The demon, sensing the perilous nature of the flames, swiftly evaded the attack, demonstrating its shocking agility and flexibility. Seizing the opportunity, the demon retaliated with massive tidal waves, threatening to engulf Wang Jian and Hong Meilin in their crushing force. Noticing the impending danger, Wang Jian whispered urgently, "If you want to survive, take my hand." He extended his hand towards her, bracing himself for a powerful leap. Hong Meilin hesitated, torn between her principles and the imminent threat before her. She had never allowed a man to touch even her pinky finger, yet the gravity of the situation compelled her to instinctively grasp Wang Jian's outstretched hand, a fleeting moment of vulnerability in the face of survival. A mischievous grin spread across Wang Jian's face as he propelled himself with remarkable strength, leaping with agility and evading the approaching tsunami with precision and finesse. Hong Meilin's heart danced with a mix of excitement and relief as she gracefully dodged the destructive force of the tsunami. Her eyes widened with awe as she witnessed the immense power of the tsunami crashing into the surrounding trees, crushing them with an earth-shattering force. Her breath caught in her throat, realizing the narrow escape she had just experienced. Gratitude welled within her as she cast a glance towards Wang Jian, her voice filled with genuine appreciation. Thank you, Your Highness Jian. You saved me from certain doom. Amidst the chaos, the two bishops seized the opportunity and unleashed a barrage of hundreds of light arrows, their luminous projectiles aiming for the vulnerable back of the opalescent-skinned demon. To their dismay, the light arrows struck an invisible aqua barrier that shimmered into view only after their impact, protecting the demon from harm. The demon turned towards the bishops, his voice dripping with disdain. You think you can kill me, Aiden, one of the might protectors of the Oceanic Tempest Storm Devil lineage? Prepare to witness the true extent of my power. The bishops exchanged a glance, their determination unyielding. One of them, a seasoned warrior, retorted with unwavering resolve, "We will not be deterred by your empty boasts, Aiden. Our faith in the divine light shall guide us to victory." The demon's lips curled into a wicked grin as he summoned his elemental forces, preparing to unleash a devastating counterattack. As the tumultuous battle between the demon named Aiden and the courageous bishops unfolded, Wang Jian found himself engrossed in a conversation with Hong Meilin, the esteemed saintess of the church. A mischievous grin played upon Wang Jian's face as he contemplated his next move. This demon possesses considerable strength, Wang Jian remarked, his voice laced with intrigue. I wonder if I should personally engage in combat. Hong Meilin turned her gaze towards him, unable to resist the allure of his words. Curiosity brimming in her eyes, she queried, while the demon may indeed be powerful, it cannot possibly withstand the combined assault of 3 King Realm experts. As it battles against the 2 bishops, the demon is already stretched thin. If your highness were to join the fray, we would undoubtedly secure victory. Wang Jian shook his head slightly, his smirk widening. Ah, my dear Meilin, it's not as straightforward as that. Although the bishops have valiantly kept the demon preoccupied, their injuries are grave, and their martial prowess diminishes with each passing moment. This is precisely why the demon could launch such a devastating attack against you, unperturbed by the bishop's retaliation. He further added with a smile, this demon also has a powerful regeneration technique that has allowed it to maintain its peak state during the entire battle. I assume that it won't be long before both the bishops are slaughtered. Hong Meilin's startled expression betrayed her disbelief. What? That can't be true. As her eyes surveyed the battlefield, her worst fears were confirmed. The bishops' bodies were marred by numerous wounds, while Aiden, the demon, appeared virtually unscathed. Suddenly, a realization dawned upon her, and she turned towards Wang Jian with a glimmer of understanding. Wait. If this demon is as terrifying as you say, why do you remain here, Your Highness? A sense of confidence emanated from Wang Jian as he responded calmly, his voice laced with assurance. Because, my dear Meilin, I possess the unwavering belief that I can overcome this formidable foe. Hong Meilin's desperation surfaced as she implored him, her voice filled with earnestness. Please, Your Highness, engage the demon and save our bishops. Wang Jian's gaze fixed upon her, his smirk intensifying. Flames surged around them, reducing the oncoming horde of demons to mere ashes. In a mischievous tone, he spoke, naturally, I shall confront this demon. However, my dear Meilin, why should I risk my life to save the bishops? Their injuries will only serve to weaken the demon further, making my own battle considerably easier. So, what compels me to jeopardize myself for the sake of the church's members? Caught off guard by his audacious proposition, Hong Meilin struggled to find a response. After a momentary pause, she replied with a glimmer of hope, Your Highness, the church will undoubtedly be eternally grateful for your assistance. We possess an abundance of rare herbs, artifacts, and resources that might genuinely pique your interest. Wang Jian rolled his eyes, his disdain evident. Such trivial offerings hold no sway over me. In fact, the items within the church that might tempt me lie far beyond your capacity to procure. The Pope would never willingly part with them even at your request. As Hong Meilin's mind delved into deep contemplation, Wang Jian fixed his gaze upon her, a devious smile playing upon his lips. However, there is one thing that captures my interest, and that is you. Should you grant me a passionate kiss, my motivation to save the bishops might be kindled. The shock was palpable in Hong Meilin's response as she stammered, clearly taken aback. What? I am the saintess of the church. I am not permitted to engage in such actions with anyone. A hint of disappointment laced Wang Jian's voice as he replied, Ah, what a pity. In that case, I suppose I shall take my leave. The demon will be unable to pursue us if we depart now. May luck be with the bishops. With a mischievous smirk, Wang Jian understood the common thread among heroines, their willingness to sacrifice that which is most precious to them in order to protect their comrades. Explore Ta Ti stories at no/l//bin.cm. And as expected, Hong Meilin succumbed to the weight of her duty, responding, Very well, I agree. Now, I implore you, go forth and save them. Seizing the opportune moment, Wang Jian's depraved nature surfaced, concealed beneath a charismatic facade. His voice assumed a calm and measured tone as he asserted, However, I require an advance payment before embarking on such a perilous undertaking. As if summoned by his command, a swirling vortex of searing flames materialized around them, shrouding them from prying eyes and ensuring their privacy within its fiery embrace. Now, my dear, Wang Jian spoke with an unabashed grin, we find ourselves concealed from the gaze of the world. There is no need for shyness. Come forth and fulfill your part. His words carried an undeniable allure, simultaneously tempting and sinister. Hong Meilin's heart raced as she stood face to face with Wang Jian, her eyes reflecting a mixture of determination and uncertainty. In a swift and determined motion, she closed the distance between them, her body leaning forward and her lips softly pressing against his. However, the kiss lacked the passion that Wang Jian desired, leaving him unmoved. Wang Jian's voice broke the silence, his tone calm yet firm. Your kiss lacks the fire I seek, Hong Meilin. I agreed to save the bishops on the condition of a passionate kiss, one that would stir the depths of my being. But what I felt just now falls short of my expectations. Visit n0vl/bin. For the best novel reading experience. Fury burned within Hong Meilin's eyes as she retorted, her voice laced with indignation. You're going back on your word. This is nothing but a ploy to take advantage of me. Wang Jian met her gaze steadily, his voice unwavering. I am a man of my word. I won't move until I feel the intensity of your kiss, until it sets my heart ablaze. Determined to fulfill her mission, Hong Meilin gathered her resolve. She kissed him again, pouring all her emotions into the act, hoping to ignite the passion that Wang Jian desired. But despite her efforts, the outcome remained unchanged, leaving her frustrated and filled with a mix of anger and resignation. Their argument escalated as Hong Meilin's voice grew louder, her words fueled by a sense of injustice. "How dare you play with my feelings like this? You have no right to demand such things from me." With a calm demeanor, Wang Jian responded, his voice steady and resolute. "I have my reasons, Hong Meilin. Until I feel the fire in your kiss, I won't budge. The fate of the bishops hangs in the balance." Reluctantly, Hong Meilin pressed her lips against his once more, hoping that this time she could muster the passion Wang Jian desired. Yet, the result remained the same, leaving her disheartened and grappling with conflicting emotions. As the cycle repeated for the 8th time, Hong Meilin found herself gradually growing accustomed to the sensation of kissing Wang Jian. The initial repulsion she had felt was replaced by a strange acceptance, driven by her determination to save the bishops. Noticing the change in her demeanor, Wang Jian decided it was time to put an end to their ordeal. He spoke with a mix of resolution and demand. "Hong Meilin, allow me to kiss you passionately. In that moment, you must silence any protests or cries that may arise." Anger surged through Hong Meilin's veins, her voice laced with defiance. "This is preposterous. You are just messing with me." Wang Jian responded, "This will be the last one, but only on the condition that you do not protest at all." "I have no choice since this is the only way to save the bishops," Hong Meilin muttered to herself. Reluctantly, Hong Meilin acquiesced to Wang Jian's demand, knowing that the burden of the bishops' lives rested on her actions. With a mixture of anger and resignation, she braced herself for the passionate kiss that awaited her. As Wang Jian leaned in to kiss her, Hong Meilin's heart raced. This would be the defining moment, the kiss that would either seal their fate or leave them forever divided. With a mixture of anger, frustration, and a hint of trepidation, she braced herself for what was to come. Their lips met once more, but this time, it was different. Wang Jian's kiss was passionate, intense, and all-consuming. He didn't hold back, his tongue gently intertwining with hers as his hands wandered across her body, eliciting a range of sensations that Hong Meilin couldn't ignore. In that moment, surrounded by the heat of their connection, time seemed to stand still. The world faded into the background as their desires collided, leaving an indelible mark on both their souls. It was a kiss that surpassed all expectations, igniting a flame of longing and awakening something deep within them. As they finally parted, their breaths mingling, Hong Meilin was left breathless and emotionally stirred. Wang Jian's gaze held a mix of satisfaction and longing, mirroring her own conflicting emotions. "I wanted something like that," Wang Jian declared, his voice laced with a devilish smirk that sent shivers down Hong Meilin's spine. His eyes sparkled with mischief as he held her gaze, the intensity of his desire evident. As their passionate encounter ended, the fiery vortex surrounding them dissipated, revealing the chaotic battleground where the bishops fought valiantly against Aiden. The air crackled with raw energy, and the sounds of clashing weapons and desperate cries filled the air. Seizing the opportune moment, Wang Jian swiftly unsheathed his gleaming sword, its blade shimmering with a dangerous brilliance. With a determined stride, he advanced toward Aiden, his eyes fixed on the formidable foe. The bishops, weary from their relentless battle, glimpsed a glimmer of hope as Wang Jian intervened, cutting through the crashing wave of a tsunami with his formidable blade. His gaze locked onto Aiden, unwavering and filled with determination. "You shall face me." Wang Jian's voice echoed through the tumultuous battlefield, his words both a challenge and a proclamation. He raised the tyrannical sovereign's blade, its power radiating like a beacon of defiance against the demon's power. Aiden's eyes gleamed with arrogance as it observed the gleaming blade before it. The demon's lips curled into a smirk, relishing the opportunity presented to it. With a wicked chuckle, it taunted Wang Jian with mocking words. "What a foolish human you are! You came here to offer me that precious blade. Ha 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 ha." Aiden's voice dripped with derision, a confident sneer adorning its face as it basked in the presence of the emperor-ranked weapon. The allure of such a rare and powerful artifact was not lost on the demon. Wang Jian's response was laced with a dry and dismissive tone, his voice carrying a hint of contempt for his adversary. "You overestimate your worth, demon. This blade is not a gift but a means to cleave through your arrogant existence." With a swift motion, Wang Jian ignited his qi, infusing his body with the laws of flame. Flames erupted around him, casting an ethereal glow that illuminated his determined features. As he took his first step, the ground trembled beneath him, an echo of his unwavering resolve. Aiden's demonic energy surged, transforming the battlefield into a maelstrom of darkness and fury. The demon's form became shrouded in an aura of malevolence, its power radiating with each passing moment. Without wasting another breath, Aiden launched itself into action, summoning a massive tidal wave infused with demonic energy. The wave crashed towards Wang Jian with devastating force, but the human swordsman remained steadfast. With a swift flick of his wrist, Wang Jian unleashed the Starry Night Sky Strike, a technique that combined the speed and precision of his swordsmanship with the intensified power of the laws of flame. His blade cut through the tidal wave, parting it like a celestial comet tearing through the night sky. The clash of their powers reverberated through the battlefield, the force of their attacks sending shockwaves rippling across the ground. Aiden, undeterred, retaliated with the abyssal torrent palm, launching a swirling vortex of dark water infused with demonic energy towards Wang Jian. With deft agility, Wang Jian executed the Moonshadow Step, a movement technique that allowed him to evade the oncoming torrent. As the vortex passed by him, he seized the opportunity to counter with the Serene Moonlight Slash, a swift and precise strike that carried the scorching intensity of deadly flames. Their battle intensified, each exchange of blows unleashing a storm of power and skill. Aiden unleashed the demonic deluge barrage, showering Wang Jian with relentless barrages of concentrated energy. The human swordsman's endless blade defense provided him with an impenetrable shield, deflecting each onslaught with impeccable timing and control. Wang Jian retaliated with the swift silver stab, a lightning-fast thrust of his blade that pierced through Aiden's defenses with precision and finesse. The clash of their techniques filled the air, a symphony of clash and collision, as the two combatants pushed the limits of their abilities. As the battle raged on, Aiden's boasting grew louder, its voice laced with a mix of arrogance and superiority. "You think you can stand against me, a demon of the Protector rank? I am a pinnacle of power in my Devil clan, a rank bestowed upon the chosen few. Your human limitations pale in comparison." Wang Jian's response was curt, his voice filled with a touch of biting sarcasm. "Protector rank, you say? What an illustrious title for one who revels in mediocrity. Your Devil clan standards must be laughably low if they consider you an epitome of power." Aiden, infuriated by Wang Jian's mockery, unleashed a surge of dark energy, enveloping its form in a malevolent aura. It glared at Wang Jian with burning eyes, the air around it crackling with demonic power. "Interesting. I didn't think you still had that much energy left in store," he remarked, a hint of amusement in his voice. His cheeky look betrayed his confidence as he continued, "Fortunately, I was also holding back." With a flicker of determination in his eyes, Wang Jian ignited his qi once more, infusing his body with the magnificent laws of flame. Flames erupted around him, casting an ethereal glow that illuminated his features. The intensity of his flame-imbued qi clashed against Aiden's demonic energy, creating a fierce contest of power. Aiden, fueled by its demonic prowess, summoned the demonic deluge barrage, launching relentless barrages of concentrated energy at Wang Jian. The onslaught came crashing down like a tempestuous downpour, but Wang Jian's endless blade defense emerged as an impenetrable shield. He deflected each onslaught with impeccable timing and control, his blade dancing in the air as he countered with the swift silver stab. Wang Jian's lightning-fast thrust pierced through Aiden's defenses with precision and finesse, causing the demon to recoil in pain. The clash of their techniques filled the air, a symphony of clash and collision, as they pushed the limits of their abilities. Aiden, infuriated by Wang Jian's display of skill, channeled its fury into the abyssal whirlpool kick. It performed a spinning kick, summoning a swirling vortex of dark water and demonic energy. The vortex sought to engulf Wang Jian, trapping him in a relentless whirlpool of destruction. However, Wang Jian swiftly evaded the attack, his Moonshadow Step allowing him to gracefully evade the oncoming whirlpool. Seizing the opportunity, Wang Jian retaliated with the Serene Moonlight Slash, a swift and precise strike that carried the scorching intensity of deadly flames. His blade sliced through the air with incredible speed, leaving behind a trail of searing flames. The impact of his strike reverberated through Aiden's form, causing the demon to stagger. Their battle intensified, each exchange of blows pushing them to their limits. Aiden, refusing to back down, unleashed the tempestuous torrent punch, a rapid barrage of punches imbued with the chaotic energy of a raging storm. Each punch released a surge of demonic water that pummeled Wang Jian with unrelenting force. But Wang Jian, displaying his mastery, unleashed the endless blade defense once again, deflecting the onslaught with flawless precision. His movements were a testament to his skill, his sword becoming an extension of his body as he countered with the Starry Night Sky Strike. The technique combined the speed and precision of his swordsmanship with the intensified power of the laws of flame. Wang Jian's blade cut through the air, parting it like a celestial comet tearing through the night sky. The sheer force of his strike collided with Aiden's demonic energy, creating shockwaves that rippled through the battlefield. As the battle raged on, Aiden's initial confidence began to waver. The demon realized that Wang Jian's skill and power surpassed its expectations. Sensing its imminent defeat, Aiden decided to resort to a desperate tactic, targeting the vulnerable humans on the battlefield. With a malevolent grin, Aiden gathered its demonic energy, merging it with the power of the surrounding water. Dark clouds converged overhead as the atmosphere crackled with anticipation. In a twisted symphony of chaos, Aiden unleashed the cataclysmic deluge, a powerful technique that combined water and demonic attributes. The devastating attack encompassed a vast area, threatening to annihilate both humans and demons alike. Aiden reveled in the prospect of their destruction, believing that victory would be assured. Wang Jian knew that he had to act swiftly to protect those under his charge. With a deep breath, he channeled his innermost strength, drawing upon the laws of flame. In a blaze of awe-inspiring power, Wang Jian unleashed the Inferno Ascendance. This ultimate flame technique engulfed him in a swirling vortex of scorching heat and ethereal flames. The intensity of the flames defied comprehension as they danced and flickered with an otherworldly glow. As the cataclysmic deluge approached, Wang Jian met it head-on with his Inferno Ascendance. The clash of fire and water was a spectacle of epic proportions, with steam and smoke billowing into the air and the ground quaking beneath the sheer force of their collision. The Inferno Ascendance proved its might, overwhelming the cataclysmic deluge with its searing intensity. The flames consumed the dark water, transforming it into steam that dissipated into the atmosphere. The threat to the humans was neutralized, leaving Aiden stunned and vulnerable. Wang Jian, now wreathed in the remnants of the Inferno Ascendance, fixed his gaze upon Aiden with unwavering determination. The battlefield fell into an eerie silence, broken only by the crackling flames and the heavy breathing of the combatants. "I hope you've learned your lesson, demon," Wang Jian's voice resonated with a newfound intensity. Aiden, whose once cocky demeanor had been replaced by a flicker of fear, could only muster a feeble response amidst the overwhelming turn of events. "Impossible. This cannot be." Before Aiden could regain his composure or launch another technique, Wang Jian, capitalizing on the moment, employed the graceful moonshadow step to close the distance between them in a blink of an eye. His fist, infused with the intensified laws of flames, surged forward in a devastating strike known as the Origin Fist. The impact of Wang Jian's Origin Fist landed squarely on Aiden's head, causing a violent tremor to reverberate through its entire body. The sheer power of the laws of flame engulfed the demon, leaving a portion of its head burned to ashes. Thankfully, the majority of its head survived the destructive force, though its consciousness swiftly faded, succumbing to the overwhelming blow. With Aiden's defeat, the remaining demons lost their morale, and their confidence shattered by the fall of their formidable leader. The tide of battle swiftly turned as Wang Jian's faction seized the opportunity to mercilessly slaughter the disheartened demons. Many attempted to flee, only to meet their demise at the hands of the prepared and ruthless Ye family. Now, Wang Jian and his allies stood victorious, having captured Aiden and a few of his subordinates. The battle had come to a close, leaving behind a trail of carnage and the spoils of victory. However, amidst the triumph, a mysterious cave beckoned to them, promising untold wonders. If Bishi Shuyan's instincts were to be trusted, this cave likely held some rare and powerful treasures. Within the depths of this cavern lay a colossal repository, a boundless reservoir of riches coveted by creatures of every kind, beasts, demons, and even humans. Throughout the vast expanse of the world, only a scarce few treasures possessed the potential to benefit such a diverse array of races. And in this remarkable assemblage, one particular treasure shone with resplendence, the very embodiment of rarity. The discoveries made by Wang Jian's faction and the members of the church within this sacred cave surpassed all expectations. Follow the latest novels n/velbin.com. They had stumbled upon an extraordinary marvel, an intact mine brimming with the exceedingly rare ebon void essence ore. "I never fathomed that this cavern would harbor such a prodigious deposit of the elusive ebon void essence ore," remarked Hong Meilin, her eyes widening in astonishment. Wang Jian, the seventh prince of the everlasting mystic empire, maintained a composed demeanor in response. "Indeed. Judging by its scale, it appears that we have stumbled upon a cache containing over 1,000 tons of this rare ore. I've heard tales of its extraordinary potency, capable of rending through dimensions," murmured Hong Meilin, her voice tinged with a mix of awe and curiosity. "Through the manipulation of this ore, one could fashion spatial rings with unparalleled capacity, far surpassing those we currently possess." The bishops accompanying her nodded in agreement, their expressions reflecting a similar sense of wonder. One of them spoke, addressing Hong Meilin respectfully. "That is not all, esteemed saintess. It is said that with this ore, we can construct teleportation formations, enabling swift travel between cities and even entire kingdoms. Our mobility would be greatly enhanced. The other bishops chimed in, their voices filled with anticipation. Furthermore, legends speak of the potential for individuals with exceptional understanding to glean insights into the law of space, should they acquire this ore. While the members of the Church of Divine Light harbored a deep-seated dislike for Wang Jian, they found themselves in a predicament. Despite their reservations, they were compelled to accompany him, for he had recently saved their group from the clutches of a powerful demon force led by Aiden. Hong Meilin, in particular, detested Wang Jian due to his earlier actions, yet reluctantly acknowledged that it was necessary to stay with his faction. At that moment, both the Church's faithful and Wang Jian's faction couldn't help but succumb to the allure of greed. For the Church, the Ebb and Void Essence Ore presented an incredible opportunity to establish a network of teleportation formations, linking their branches and safeguarding their territories. And for Wang Jian's faction, the potential benefits were equally enticing. Firstly, it would drastically enhance their mobility, granting them a remarkable advantage in their operations. Secondly, they could fashion improved items like spatial rings that surpassed anything currently available. And thirdly, they could forge weapons capable of harnessing spatial abilities. Imagine the impact of possessing weapons with such extraordinary spatial prowess, they would immediately dominate the market across the entire empire. That's how scarce and coveted spatial weapons were. Truth be told, the resources used to fashion the current crop of spatial equipment, weapons, and even spatial store rings were laughably inferior compared to the Ebb and Void Essence Ore. It was like comparing cheap knockoffs to the real deal, they simply didn't measure up. But Wang Jian had a different kind of plan in mind, a use for this ore that no one in this world had even dreamed of. And why? Because he hailed from another world altogether. His aim? To harness this precious resource and create an artifact that would revolutionize communication. Frankly, he was sick and tired of the archaic practice of sending messages through letters. After all, for someone accustomed to the convenience of mobile phones in the modern world, the whole process felt unbearably primitive. Now, he knew telephones worked by harnessing signals and frequencies, but he never had the chance to delve into the intricate workings of those devices in great detail. Besides, there were countless resources in his previous world that were sorely lacking here, and vice versa. But with the discovery of the Ebb and Void Essence Ore, a glimmer of hope ignited in Wang Jian's mind. Perhaps he could piece together a communication device, a makeshift telephone, or even a damn radio conversation. Anything that would be a massive upgrade from this antiquated mode of communication. Yet, bringing such an audacious plan to fruition required an enormous quantity of this ore. He needed it for extensive trial and error, as well as mass production. Unfortunately, the presence of the Church's zealous followers posed a dire risk. The news of the Ebb and Void Essence Ore could easily leak to the public. And if that happened, this entire mine brimming with priceless ore would be divvied up among countless factions. Guess who'd be taking the lion's share? None other than the Emperor himself. Wang Jian had absolutely no desire to relinquish his claim. After all, sharing was definitely not on his agenda. Should I simply slaughter them all? The thought flickered in his mind like a passing shadow. However, a single glance at Hong Meilin shattered that notion. Her luck, infuriatingly, still surpassed his own, despite all the times he had tricked her into unwittingly kissing him. It became painfully clear that eliminating her was an impossible feat. And if he couldn't eliminate her, then the news of this invaluable ore would undoubtedly seep out. But Wang Jian's cunning mind refused to surrender. He sensed another path, a way to manipulate this precarious situation to his advantage. This scheme brewed within Wang Jian's mind, wickedly delightful to the point where he could hardly contain his laughter. It held the promise of resolving all his predicaments, while simultaneously leaving a lasting impression on Hong Meilin. "Hey Meilin, we've got ourselves quite a situation here," Wang Jian remarked casually, his gaze fixed on Hong Meilin. A sense of unease crept over Hong Meilin as she heard his words. Her followers turned their attention towards her, and she couldn't help but respond hesitantly, What exactly are you implying? Wang Jian let out a chuckle. Come on, don't play dumb. I'm talking about this whole mine ownership deal. I'm pretty sure you understand the value of the ore here, and it's no secret I ain't keen on sharing it with all of you. The Church followers didn't take kindly to his explanation. Outrage filled the air as they raised their voices in protest. What? Seven Prince, you're being downright selfish, staking claim on this ore. We discovered this cave before you, one follower exclaimed with frustration. Another follower chimed in, absolutely. We entered this cave together and stumbled upon this ore at the same time. If anything, both our factions should get a fair share, at least half of the damn ore in this cave. Before Wang Jian could respond, his buddy Xia Shiwei, Lu Yu, and Luo Ying swiftly came to his defense. Xia Shiwei retorted, "What a load of bull crap. Just because you caught a glimpse of this cave a tiny bit earlier, you think it's all yours? Let me ask you this, what if I told you my ancestors spotted this very cave thousands of years ago but couldn't extract the damn resources for some reason? Does that mean it's my property now? Screw that. You wouldn't even get the chance to lay eyes on it if we hadn't brought you along." Lu Yu interjected, "Don't forget, without us, your crew would be nothing but a pile of bones, likely devoured by those demons." Luo Ying added with a mischievous grin, "Damn right. Actually, you all owe us some protection fees for saving your sorry hides from those demons. Just because our leader, the 7th Prince, is a kind-hearted bloke doesn't mean you can push us around. I've got a stash of assault talismans waiting to be unleashed. I've been dying to see what the eviscerating Nova Storm Talisman or the Vortex of Oblivion Talisman can do. Heard they pack a wicked punch, capable of wiping out entire groups of experts. Don't give me a reason to test them out." The audacious reasoning of the 3 outlaws left the church followers dumbfounded. Their words were both uproarious and razor-sharp, hitting the nail on the head. These 3 certainly lived up to their reputation as the notorious outlaws of Arya City. The followers of the church grew even more incensed upon hearing the remark. One of their devout members stepped forward, his voice dripping with anger, "You shameless scoundrels. It's because of the unwavering battles fought by our bishops and us that you managed to effortlessly vanquish those demons. If it weren't for the countless sacrifices made by the loyal followers of the church, defeating those demons would have been an insurmountable feat." Xia Shiwei, never one to hold back, retorted with a sly grin, "Oh, my dear friend, you seem to be suffering from a severe case of delusion. Let's get our facts straight, shall we? It wasn't the bishop's prayers or your battles that saved the day. It was our unruly band of misfits here who swooped in and showed those demons who's boss. Your sacrifices? Well, they allowed you to survive until we could make our grand entrance, so you ought to be grateful to the dead." Lu Yu chimed in, unable to resist adding fuel to the fire, "Seriously, mate, don't overestimate your contribution. We were the ones pulling off epic moves left and right, while you guys were just making a racket in the background. Sacrifices or not, those demons would have been reduced to dust under our feet." Luo Ying, his eyes gleaming mischievously, joined in with his own outlandish remark, "Oh, please. I already told you before, we should be charging you a fee for our impeccable demon-slaying services. Let's be real here, without our unparalleled skills, your so-called tireless battle would have been a pitiful display. Sacrifices or no sacrifices, we were the true heroes of the day." The church followers were so angry that they planned to curse them aloud just to win this argument. However, Wang Jian suddenly spoke with a heavy commanding tone, "Shut it." The church followers couldn't help but turn silent upon hearing his command. This was an instinctive reaction rather than a thoughtful one. The origin of their compliance was none other than fear. Wang Jian's voice turned heavy and serious as he directed his words towards the church followers, his tone cutting through the tension in the air. "If you wish to argue, then allow me to present a statement that has echoed throughout this world countless times." Pausing for a moment to gather his thoughts, he spoke coldly, "In this realm, might makes right." His words hung in the air, leaving a chilling effect on the listeners. Wang Jian continued, his voice laced with icy resolve, "Now, take a moment to consider who possesses the greater power in this situation. You all witnessed my strength during the battle with that demon earlier. Imagine the extent of my power. Then ask yourselves, can your bishops even hope to defeat me, let alone my formidable allies? It is because of these undeniable truths that your bishops and even Hong Meilin herself have chosen to remain silent in the face of our outrageous but accurate claims." The church followers' eyes widened in shock as they realized the vast difference in strength between Wang Jian's faction and their own. The realization struck them like a bolt of lightning, rendering them speechless. However, Hong Meilin interjected, attempting to regain her ground. "Hold on a moment. If you dare to attack us, I will not hesitate to summon the Pope," she declared defiantly. Wang Jian let out a contemptuous snort, dismissing her threat. "Ah, yes, you possess the artifact to summon the Pope. But do you truly have the courage to use it? Even when your group teetered on the brink of annihilation at the hands of that demon, you refrained from summoning the Pope. There must be some kind of restriction for Emperor Realm experts like the Pope." Perhaps the demons have threatened to launch a devastating assault on the Empire if any Emperor realm experts enter this forest. Or maybe there is another reason, a reason so significant that you would rather face annihilation than summon the Pope. Regardless, the fact remains that you cannot call upon the Pope without risking something of immense consequence. Wang Jian's words hung in the air, sowing seeds of uncertainty within the hearts of the church followers. The weight of their trump cards' potential consequences settled upon them, leaving them unsure of their next move. A wide smile spread across Wang Jian's face as he proposed, "I suggest having a private discussion with the Saintess." The church followers immediately formed a protective arc around Hong Meilin, shielding her from Wang Jian's perceived ill intentions. The bishops also stepped forward, their faces filled with determination. One of them spoke with utmost seriousness, "We will not allow you to bring harm to the Saintess. If you wish to hold a discussion, then it shall be done here." Wang Jian's smirk remained as he gazed into Hong Meilin's eyes. "Is that so?" he responded, unfazed. "In that case, the only alternative would be a battle to the death." The other bishops voiced their concerns, their tones reflecting their seriousness. "Why do you seek a private discussion with her?" they inquired. Maintaining his calm composure, Wang Jian replied, "She is the leader of your group, and I am the leader of mine. It is only natural for me to negotiate with her, discussing the terms concerning the ebb and void essence and whether I should choose to attack or leave your group. There are certain conditions that I would prefer to keep undisclosed to all but your leader and the Pope." The church followers and bishops remained unconvinced by Wang Jian's reasoning, but Hong Meilin held a different perspective. In an authoritative tone, she declared, "I will engage in that private discussion with you, Your Highness Jian." Her decision startled everyone present, be it Wang Jian's faction members or the followers of the church. The bishops, filled with concern, turned to her and spoke with a hint of worry, "Saintess, there's no need for you to make such a rash and perilous choice. We can protect you as long as we stand united in battle." Shaking her head, Hong Meilin replied, "Esteemed bishops, I would rather avert such a conflict. If any harm befalls me during the discussion, I trust that each person here will fight in my name. However, if we were to engage in a battle, I prefer to have this private discussion now, in the hopes of preventing the clash altogether, rather than regret not considering it sooner." The bishops and the followers of the church intensified their efforts to dissuade Hong Meilin, warning her of Wang Jian's deceitful nature and his willingness to manipulate her. They pleaded with her not to be fooled by his tricks, fearing the consequences. However, Hong Meilin remained resolute, determined not to waver in her decision. Taking a deep breath, she stepped forward, her heart pounding with nervousness and a tinge of terror. Wang Jian wore a confident smile, a wicked gleam in his eyes as he observed Hong Meilin's anxious expression. Together, they embarked on a slow walk towards a secluded section of the cave, their footsteps echoing in the silence. The followers of the church and Wang Jian's faction members stayed behind, their gazes fixed on each other, wary and watchful. In the secluded space, Wang Jian and Hong Meilin locked eyes, their expressions revealing a clash of emotions. As Hong Meilin caught sight of the wicked gleam in Wang Jian's eyes, a shiver ran down her spine, unsettling her. Wang Jian's voice carried a mischievous undertone as he spoke, "I believe a thank you is in order for rescuing your group from those demons." Discover NW Chapter SNN0EL by.com. Hong Meilin's fists clenched tightly at his words, a mix of anger and resentment surging within her. She retorted indignantly, "I have already paid my dues. You've taken advantage of me countless times." Wang Jian's husky voice filled the air as his gaze unabashedly lingered on her body. "Well, my dear, what you've done so far simply hasn't been enough," he responded with a smug undertone. Aware of his lascivious stare, Hong Meilin felt a sense of discomfort, prompting her to keep her head down, avoiding direct eye contact. Wang Jian's demeanor shifted, his expression turning serious. "Now, let's discuss the current situation," he began, acknowledging the predicament they faced. "It's a rather tricky situation, as I can't simply give away such a valuable resource to the church without receiving something in return." Curiosity and determination mingled in Hong Meilin's voice as she inquired, "What is it that you desire?" With a mischievous smirk playing on his lips, Wang Jian responded, his voice laced with cunningness, "If it weren't for your presence here, I would have undoubtedly attacked the church followers and unleashed a massacre upon them. It would have perfectly served my objective of keeping this precious resource hidden from the world." Noticing the frown etched on Hong Meilin's face, Wang Jian added, his tone tinged with amusement, "However, fortunately for the church, they sent you. Now, considering my fondness for you, I am willing to entertain your offer. Ponder carefully on what I seek and how you can provide enough incentive for me to spare your group's lives and even share this invaluable ore with the church." Startled by his words, Hong Meilin's mind began to race, contemplating the weight of the decision before her. Meanwhile, Wang Jian settled himself upon a nearby boulder, his gaze fixed upon Hong Meilin as she grappled with her thoughts. Hong Meilin couldn't ignore the sinister gleam in Wang Jian's eyes, causing a sense of unease to well up within her. She couldn't help but touch her lips, recalling the moments they had shared. Deep down, she sensed that Wang Jian sought an offer that involved her personally rather than the church. Though she had an inkling, mustering the words proved to be a struggle for her. However, time ticked away rapidly, exacerbating her nerves. She remained oblivious to Wang Jian's intentions, unsure of his patience. With the weight of the situation pressing upon her, she knew she had to formulate an offer swiftly. Summoning her inner strength, she steeled herself and spoke, her voice trembling, "How about, if I were to give you a passionate kiss, would you allow my group to return?" Wang Jian erupted into laughter at her proposition. "Ha ha. I must say, I'm impressed by your audacity, but, alas, it falls far short of the offer I desire." With a wicked smirk, he added, "Allow me to provide you with 2 hints. Even if you were to offer yourself to me, it still wouldn't secure the lives of your entire group." Hong Meilin's eyes widened, anger surging within her heart. She contemplated storming out, prepared to risk her life in battle against Wang Jian. But her actions halted as Wang Jian continued speaking, "The value of these resources surpasses anything you can offer. If news of this were to leak, I would be beset by countless factions seeking to claim it. I would be forced to relinquish the mine to other powers within the empire, with the majority falling into the hands of the emperor. Sharing it is simply not part of my plan." Hong Meilin visibly calmed, her understanding growing amid her fury. Yet, her anger was reignited as Wang Jian uttered his next words, "The second hint is that the offer must include you becoming my woman. Without it, I will not entertain any other proposal, regardless of what you may offer. Consider it my non-negotiable bottom line." "What?" Hong Meilin couldn't help but shout aloud. "You are going too far with these conditions, Your Highness Jian." Hong Meilin's outburst was an instinctive reaction, and Wang Jian had foreseen it all along. "You still have the option of returning to your group and facing my faction head-on. But I assure you, the outcome would be the complete annihilation of your people," Wang Jian stated, his voice dripping with coldness. Angry and seething, Hong Meilin gritted her teeth, but she remained rooted in place. Unbeknownst to her, her decision elicited an internal smirk from Wang Jian. It indicated that she was contemplating becoming his woman, and he relished the thought of what other concessions she might offer to sway him. "If you grant us safe passage and agree to share 50% of the ore found in this mine, I will personally beseech the Pope to forge an alliance between the Church and your faction, Your Highness Jian," Hong Meilin declared, after careful deliberation. Wang Jian's smile took on an amused edge as he asked, "And what about you, my dear Meilin?" That devilishly handsome smile on his face caused Hong Meilin's teeth to clench, but she mustered all her strength to contain her rage as she forced the words out, I will become your woman." The words tasted bitter and suffocating as they left her lips, a testament to her unwillingness. Yet, she knew that she had to play this dangerous game if she wanted to secure the safety of her group and maintain a shred of control in this precarious situation. "Now, this is an offer worth considering," Wang Jian stated, a sly grin stretching across his face. "Forging an alliance with the Church would undoubtedly strengthen my faction. However, I question whether you hold enough status or influence to make such a momentous decision on behalf of the Church." Hong Meilin's spirit sank, and she bowed her head, a defeated expression overtaking her features. Wang Jian was right, she lacked the authority to make such a monumental choice without consulting the Pope. "But fear not, my dear," Wang Jian continued, his voice dripping with honeyed persuasion. "I have a proposition to resolve this quandary. How about you arrange a meeting between myself and the Pope? We shall engage in a discussion concerning the mine and jointly determine how we should distribute its riches between our factions." Hong Meilin's eyes brightened as she lifted her head. The idea held promise, and she felt a glimmer of hope in this unexpected turn of events. However, Wang Jian wasn't finished yet. He added with a self-assured smirk, "But in doing so, I naturally have 2 conditions. The first, as you are well aware, is that you must become my woman. And let me be clear, I don't mean a relationship where you can disregard my authority. I won't coddle you. You will be bound to my commands and expected to follow them without question. In return, I will spare your group from harm. Naturally, my commands can never include anything that would turn you against the Church against your wishes. Hong Meilin's fists clenched tightly, her anger boiling within her, but she managed to push through and ask, "What is your second condition?" Wang Jian's smirk widened, a glint of malevolence in his eyes. "The second condition is that your church group must ally with my faction and venture deep into the heart of this forest to confront the demons lurking within. I demand your word that no member of your group will utter a single word about this mine. And if, by any chance, someone dares to leak it, they shall find no mercy from me." Read latest chapters at no.vel.bin/c/o/m only. At that moment, the true extent of Wang Jian's cunning and persuasiveness was laid bare. His words flowed with eloquence, weaving a web that entrapped Hong Meilin in an impossible situation. "Can you offer a genuine assurance that my church group will be safe if we agree to these conditions?" she questioned, her face etched with skepticism. Wang Jian's smirk deepened, and he conjured a flash of blue light, unveiling an ancient scroll within his spatial ring. "This requires no introduction. Behold the Golden Radiance Oath Scroll, a powerful blood contract that even I cannot break." Hong Meilin's eyes widened in surprise as the scroll materialized in Wang Jian's hands. The weight of its significance was palpable, and she knew she couldn't disregard its power. Wang Jian extended the scroll towards her, its presence radiating a mystical aura. Hong Meilin cautiously accepted it, feeling the texture of the aged parchment beneath her fingertips, confirming its authenticity. "We shall inscribe the conditions upon the sacred scroll and affix our signatures with our blood," Wang Jian proposed. Hong Meilin's anxiety heightened as she grappled with the gravity of the situation. She understood that if she were to affix her name to the contract, binding her to become Wang Jian's woman, she would be shackled by an unbreakable command, her very essence at risk of obliteration should she defy it. With swift, deliberate movements, Wang Jian meticulously inscribed the binding conditions onto the aged parchment, ensuring every word was precise and unambiguous. Hong Meilin's eyes scanned the script, her mind absorbing the weight of the commitment she was about to make. After a moment's contemplation, she nodded, acknowledging the terms laid out before her. Resolutely, she pressed her index finger against her lips, feeling a slight sting as a bead of blood emerged. Carefully, she applied her blood as a signature, marking the lower left corner of the scroll. Wang Jian followed suit, crimson droplets mingling with ink as he affixed his own signature alongside Hong Meilin's. As their life essence blended with the contract, the parchment shimmered with a brilliant golden light, transforming into an ethereal chain that coiled around their very souls. The bond was now forged, an unbreakable tether that would ensure compliance and exact severe consequences for any breach. A solemn silence hung in the air, the weight of their intertwined destinies palpable. Wang Jian rose from his seat, a wicked smirk dancing upon his lips as he proposed, "Let us commemorate our newfound relationship with a passionate kiss, my dear Meilin." Hong Meilin's inner resistance flared, but the binding nature of the contract compelled her to comply, submitting herself to Wang Jian's desires. Reluctantly, she took a step forward, their lips meeting in a fervent embrace. Wang Jian's tongue invaded her mouth, exploring every inch with an unbridled hunger. His hands roved freely across her body, caressing and groping her with a possessiveness that left her feeling both violated and powerless. No longer restrained by any boundaries, Wang Jian's touch became increasingly intense and forceful. His grip on her bosom tightened, his fingers venturing towards more intimate regions, exerting control and dominance over her vulnerable form. Hong Meilin squirmed within his embrace, her body recoiling from his advances. The aggression with which he handled her breasts and buttocks left her feeling violated, trapped within a web of submission she had unwillingly woven herself into. As their lips parted, both of them gasping for air, it was clear that the kiss had left its mark on them. Without wasting a moment, Wang Jian leaned in for another kiss, his hunger for her unabated. His hands ventured even further, emboldened by their previous encounter. Slipping beneath the fabric of her top, his fingers explored the contours of her supple, porcelain skin. With a deliberate and possessive touch, he traced a path along her midriff, his fingertips igniting trails of sensation along her body. Moving with calculated intent, his hands found their destination, her ample bosom. His touch grew bolder as he pressed against her softness, relishing in the firmness and yielding nature of her flesh. His fingers kneaded and caressed, his palm gently cupping the curves that had captivated his attention. Their illicit connection intensified, a dance between dominance and submission, as Hong Meilin found herself trapped in the clutches of a man she despised. The passage of 2 hours saw Wang Jian and Hong Meilin venturing deeper into the cavern's labyrinthine depths. Among the devoted followers of the church, anxiety grew like an untamed wildfire, their worry mounting as they wondered about the fate of their esteemed saintess. Whispers of concern echoed through their ranks, questioning whether Wang Jian had inflicted harm upon her delicate frame. Meanwhile, within the enclave of Wang Jian's faction, a particular gathering of eminent figures, notably the esteemed Liu family, commenced an inspection of the mesmerizing ebon void essence ores. A symphony of voices filled the air, reverberating with passionate discussions on how best to harness the potential of this rare and precious resource. Their minds delved deep into contemplation, considering the intricate tapestry of talisman formations that could be woven using the ore's essence. At the forefront of these deliberations stood Liu Yu, a paragon of talent in the art of talisman craftsmanship. His presence radiated authority, as his profound expertise shaped the course of their discourse, breathing life into innovative ideas. Yet, Lady Zhuoran and Bishi Shuyan, in their own secluded corner, shared a unique anticipation for Wang Jian's return. Their hearts brimmed with elation, for it was through Bishi Shuyan's keen guidance that they had unearthed this veritable mine of rare ores. For Lady Zhuoran, this discovery held a glimmer of hope. She believed that the unearthing of such a precious bounty would alter Wang Jian's perception of her daughter, granting her the reverence she deserved. No longer did she dwell on the torment she endured as his sexual slave, as she harbored the belief that her daughter's usefulness would shield her from his cruelties. Meanwhile, Bishi Shuyan remained blissfully unaware of her mother's thoughts, her mind consumed by aspirations that mirrored her own self-importance. With the revelation of this resource-rich mine, she envisioned a scenario where Wang Jian would lend a receptive ear to her entreaties, his hands restrained from besmirching her mother's dignity. She reveled in the thought that her own talents would shield them from harm, their value acting as a safeguard against his impetuous desires. The two, Lady Zhuoran and Bishi Shuyan, remained naively oblivious to the dark reality that unfolded behind closed doors. Unbeknownst to them, Wang Jian had indulged in carnal pleasure with both women, their bodies mere playthings in his lascivious games while making them think that they were saving the other one by sacrificing themselves. Upon their return, Wang Jian and Hong Meilin wasted no time in sharing the news of their newfound alliance with their respective groups. The weight of this unexpected alliance hung in the air as they emphasized the utmost importance of maintaining secrecy regarding the coveted ebon void essence ore. Within the ranks of the church followers, a sense of dissatisfaction and discontent simmered, for they found themselves reluctantly tied to Wang Jian's shameless faction. The bitter taste of this alliance lingered on their tongues, but the reality of their circumstances left them with no alternative but to begrudgingly accept this uneasy pact. Emerging from the depths of the cave, Wang Jian swiftly took charge of the situation. He commanded the talented members of the esteemed Liu family to position intricately crafted talismans near the entrance, ensuring that any unwanted visitors would trigger a vigilant alarm, alerting them to potential intruders. Exploiting the full extent of their mastery in the art of illusions, Wang Jian called upon the Liu family's expertise in wielding their enchanting talismans. With meticulous precision, they skillfully concealed the cave's entrance, shrouding it in an ethereal veil that rendered it indiscernible to the untrained eye. Recognizing the exceptional abilities possessed by Lady Zhuoran and Bishi Shuyan, Wang Jian entrusted them with a critical role. Utilizing their innate talent for illusionary manipulation, enhanced by their ancestral lineage as the descendants of the illustrious silver-tailed fox race, they were tasked with erecting an additional layer of beguiling illusions. Through their combined efforts, an enchanting mirage would cloak the cave's entrance, masking it from prying eyes and further safeguarding those rare treasures. Thus, Wang Jian's loyal faction members and the devoted followers of the church departed from the immediate vicinity, embarking on a journey towards the heart of the dense forest. As time passed and they established a temporary camp, Wang Jian wasted no time in implementing his merciless tactics. He commanded his subordinates to subject the captured demons to excruciating torture, seeking to extract valuable information from their tormented souls. Through this cruel process, a revelation came to light. It was discovered that these demonic beings were particularly vulnerable to the effects of sacred attribute and holy qi, causing them unparalleled agony upon contact. Recognizing the significance of this newfound knowledge, Wang Jian summoned Hong Meilin to join him in the interrogation of their primary target, Aiden. Eager to participate, Hong Meilin harbored a deep-seated desire for revenge against this demon. It was Aiden who had irreversibly shattered the fabric of her existence, instigating the near annihilation of their group and forcing her to seek assistance from Wang Jian's cunning embrace. Together, they sought to extract every ounce of information from Aiden's anguished form, plunging him into the depths of torment as they unearthed the truth behind their shared plight. Why did the demons assault this sacred forest? Wang Jian's voice dripped with icy disdain as he confronted Aiden. Aiden's response came in the form of grunts and snarls, a feeble attempt to defy his captors. Phi DDEU up TS on NOV/E/LN.com. Meanwhile, Hong Meilin unleashed a relentless barrage of holy qi-infused attacks upon the demon. Each strike possessed a potent force, carefully calibrated to deliver agonizing pain without pushing Aiden to the brink of death. She harbored a deep-seated rage within her, fueling her every strike, determined to make Aiden suffer to the fullest extent. Her eyes bore a sinister darkness as she relentlessly assaulted Aiden's vulnerable form, her blows landing with calculated precision. "Speak, you vile creature! How dare you remain silent in the face of your impending doom?" Hong Meilin's voice reverberated with a seething hatred that permeated every syllable, leaving no doubt about the intensity of her anger. Aiden's tortured body convulsed with each agonizing blow, his resistance crumbling under the relentless assault. His face contorted in pain, he mustered the strength to plead for respite, his voice strained and filled with desperation. Please. I beg of you, mercy." His pleas were accompanied by guttural cries, a testament to the unbearable torment he endured. With each excruciating moment, his resolve weakened, and he finally relented, his voice filled with a mix of agony and surrender. "Ark. Enough. I will talk. I'll reveal everything. HRRGHH, just make it stop." The words escaped his lips in strained bursts, intermingled with pained groans. Hong Meilin's assault not only targeted his physical form but also penetrated deep into his very soul, leaving him no choice but to succumb to the searing pain. Wang Jian's masterful seal on Aiden's demonic chi prevented him from using it as a shield, intensifying the excruciating suffering he experienced. Hong Meilin, though slightly disappointed by Aiden's swift surrender, restrained herself out of curiosity. She was eager to uncover the demon's true motives for attacking the sacred forest. With a chilling tone, she demanded, "Then speak before my patience runs thin." Aiden, fearing another onslaught, hastily began to spill the beans, his words tumbling out in a rush. "It's because of those elemental sparks, the ones infused with the power of laws." Wang Jian scoffed with a roll of his eyes, dismissing Aiden's words. "You think we're fools? The Empire has long been aware of the elemental sparks and their law-infused might within the sacred domain. However, their value is limited for demons and humans alike. At best, they provide rudimentary insights into the laws, with slim chances of reaching the King realm." He continued, a cold yet serious gaze fixed upon Aiden. "Furthermore, using these elemental sparks triggers a prolonged hibernation period, during which they gather enough essence to be useful to an expert. The butterfly spirit race utilized them by stimulating the essence through the queen's bloodline. Without their queen, the demons hoarding these sparks gain little advantage." Wang Jian paused, his eyes filled with intensity, and here's the clincher. You demons made no attempt to locate the hideout of the butterfly spirit queen and her comrades. This suggests that their interest lies not in the elemental sparks, but in something far more significant, something of immense value to your demon kind. As Wang Jian concluded, a sharp gleam illuminated Hong Meilin's eyes. She unleashed a volley of holy arrows, striking Aiden with precision, and growled with fervor, "You deceitful demon! How dare you lie to us? Prepare to be skewered into pieces." Aiden's anguished howls filled the air, his eyes welling with tears, unable to withstand the relentless assault. "Stop! Stop, I beg you! Arg! I'll tell the truth. Just please." Aiden's plea echoed, tears streaming down his face. Wang Jian raised his hand, signaling Hong Meilin to halt. She obeyed, but her glare pierced Aiden with a potent warning, conveying the dire consequences of falsehood. "You're onto something, human. The demon's motive isn't solely the elemental sparks or the forest's rare resources, though they're no doubt alluring," Aiden admitted, his voice laden with gravity. "The real reason my Oceanic Storm Tempest Devil clan targeted this forest was because one of our clan members sensed the presence of our ancestral totem here." "The ancestral totem?" Wang Jian and Hong Meilin's eyes widened in astonishment, their curiosity piqued by this revelation. "Tell us more," Wang Jian commanded, his voice firm and earnest. Aiden's recount began, his words carrying the weight of history. In the ancient conflict between demons and humans that once ravaged this realm, the humans emerged victorious. However, the turning point came when the demons began to fracture, engaging in internal strife. Sensing their impending defeat, many esteemed demon experts foresaw the need to empower future generations. They embedded seeds of power within their personal totems, treasures of supreme demonic essence in the pure bloodline of the many powerful devil clans. The ancestral blood of the experts belonging to those great devil clans, with its unparalleled purity, possesses the ability to awaken the true potential of any demon who absorbs it. Aiden continued, his voice brimming with urgency, "The ancestral totem hidden within this region belongs to the ancestor of the Oceanic Storm Tempest Devil clan. It is our clan's birthright, and acquiring it is of utmost importance to us." Wang Jian's eyebrows furrowed, his sharp intellect quickly grasping the significance of the ancestral totem. "It all makes sense now," he exclaimed, a glimmer of realization lighting up his eyes. No wonder the Emperor realm experts of the Oceanic Storm Tempest Devil clan are closely monitoring this situation. It's crystal clear. His focused gaze locked onto Aiden, a sense of urgency emanating from his every word. So, enlighten us. Where exactly can we locate this elusive ancestral totem? If your clan members can sense its presence, there must be some leads to follow. Aiden's smile waned, frustration etching lines on his face. Unfortunately, it's not as simple as that, he confessed, his voice tinged with disappointment. He continued, his tone earnest, we did manage to pinpoint the location of the ancestral totem, but impenetrable seals stand in our way. Even the combined might of dozens of King Realm experts in my clan failed to make a dent. It's highly likely that an Emperor Realm expert was behind these formidable barriers. Wang Jian's eyes narrowed, a glint of determination flickering within them. So, how do you demons plan to break those seals? He inquired, eager to explore possible solutions. Aiden's expression turned resolute as he revealed their plan. Our clan has already dispatched a message, seeking the aid of the sinister Nether Curseweaver Devil Princess. She possesses an extraordinary weapon that was excavated from another ancestral totem site, an ancestral devil weapon capable of shattering any seal weaker than its power. Wang Jian's brows furrowed with curiosity as he listened to Aiden's explanation. The sinister Nether Curseweaver Devil Princess? That's quite an unusual name, he remarked, his voice laced with intrigue. Aiden, sensing the growing interest, couldn't help but smile slyly. Indeed, she lives up to her name, he began, his eyes gleaming with a mix of admiration and wariness. Amongst us demons, she is renowned for her incomparable skill in weaving curses. Born as a commoner with the rare bloodline of the Nether Curseweaver Devil clan, she surpassed all expectations and rose to prominence by using her unique techniques to outsmart and humiliate countless demons and devil clans. Pausing for a moment, Aiden's expression turned grave as he continued, but her true power lies in the treasures she discovered within the ancestral tomb of the Nether Curseweaver Devil clan. Among them, she unearthed a weapon of unparalleled might, an ancestral devil scythe. This weapon possesses extraordinary abilities, far surpassing anything you've ever witnessed. It is believed that this scythe has the potential to break open the seals guarding our ancestral tomb. Wang Jian and Hong Meilin exchanged glances, silently acknowledging the significance of this revelation. They continued their conversation with Aiden, delving deeper into the secrets surrounding the Nether Curseweaver Devil Princess and the ancestral tomb. After extracting all the information they deemed necessary, they concluded the interrogation for the day and stepped out of the tent, leaving Aiden behind. Once outside, away from prying ears, they huddled together to discuss their next course of action. Wang Jian's voice carried a note of caution as he spoke, we must keep the details of this conversation strictly confidential. Revealing the existence of the ancestral tomb could easily lead to panic among our allies. The demons already possess formidable power, and granting them access to this unique ability would only make them more dangerous. Hong Meilin nodded in agreement, understanding the rationale behind Wang Jian's decision. I understand your concerns. The last thing we need is chaos and fear spreading among our forces. We must tread carefully and strategically. Unbeknownst to Hong Meilin, Wang Jian harbored his own hidden motives for keeping the secret. His thoughts drifted to the potential benefits this ancestral tomb held for him personally. If he could acquire the ancient bloodline and integrate it with his own devil bloodline, it could be a monumental breakthrough. With the assistance of the mysterious system that had bestowed him with extraordinary abilities, Wang Jian believed that unlocking the powers within that ancient bloodline was within his reach. They continued their discussion, mapping out their next steps and formulating a plan to navigate the treacherous path ahead. As Hong Meilin listened to Wang Jian's intricate plans, she couldn't help but feel a sense of grudging admiration for his meticulousness. Despite finding him despicable, she had to admit that his mind was sharp and cunning, surpassing her own in many ways. As Hong Meilin headed towards her group, Wang Jian's eyes couldn't help but linger on the graceful sway of her figure. In his mind, he entertained thoughts of indulging in carnal pleasures, picturing a scenario where he would take her in a debauched and submissive manner, eliciting screams of pleasure beneath his dominating presence. However, he restrained himself, recognizing that today was not the opportune moment for such desires. He had a far more cunning plan in mind, one that would leave her feeling vulnerable and alone, utterly dependent on him for support. Wang Jian's mind raced with possibilities, envisioning a future encounter where circumstances would force Hong Meilin to seek his aid, her defenses crumbling under the weight of desperation. It was in that moment of weakness that he intended to strike, manipulating her reliance on him to his advantage. He knew that exploiting her vulnerability would grant him an unparalleled level of control, allowing him to maneuver their relationship to suit his desires. As Wang Jian turned his attention to the notifications from the system, he was met with a pleasant surprise. The successful manipulation and coercion of Hong Meilin into becoming his woman had resulted in a substantial influx of destiny points. His cunning maneuvers and unwavering stance during their negotiations had garnered him an impressive sum of approximately 250,000 destiny points. The magnitude of this acquisition left Wang Jian momentarily taken aback. It was a staggering number, and what surprised him even more was that he hadn't even consummated their newfound relationship yet. Realization dawned on him, and a mischievous smile crept across his face. If he could extend his influence and target Yi Chen's original heroines, the potential for amassing an astronomical amount of destiny points was within his grasp. The implications of this discovery were nothing short of extraordinary, a promising turn of events that ignited a fire of excitement within him. Wang Jian's mind raced with the possibilities, contemplating the vast rewards that awaited him through the exploitation of these heroines. With eager anticipation, Wang Jian delved into his current status. Status. Name, Wang Jian. Age, 20 years old. Destiny points, 462,671. Cultivation, 3rd stage of the King Realm. Require 100,000 destiny points for each stage. Cultivation technique, Soaring Dragon Technique, level 5, requires 2 million destiny points to level up. Skills, Origin Fist, Beam of Destruction, Mystic Force, Divine Shielding Iron Body, Enhanced Strength, Spiritual Sensitivity, Moonrise Fist, Lunar Shield, Moonshadow Step, Shadow Manipulation, Dark Fog, Eclipse Domain Annihilation, Tranquil Mind Divine Mantra, Black Castle, Elemental Genius, Dragon's Prestige, Enchantment Ability, Level 1, Starry Night Sky Strike, Serene Moonlight Slash, Swift Silver Stab, Endless Blade Defense, and Flowing Water Guard. Ocular Abilities, True Eyes, Level 2, 200,000 Destiny Points. Bloodline, Blue Moon Eclipse Devil Bloodline. Second level, Next level, 500,000 Destiny Points. Insight in Laws, Flame, Mid-level, 2 million Destiny Points. Lightning, Nil, 150,000 Destiny Points. Dark, Nil, 100,000 Destiny Points. Sword, Nil, 300,000 Destiny Points. Space, Nil, 1 million Destiny Points. Physique, Chaotic Yang Body, 1 million Destiny Points. Spirit, Dark Flame Double-Headed River Dragon, 7-star Spirit, Mutated. Weaknesses, Holy Attribute. Solar Attribute, follow you stories at n/VELB/in.com. Wang Jian noticed that his sword attribute was now showing the number of destiny points required to boost his insight in the laws of sword. However, what truly stunned Wang Jian was the addition of the space attribute to his repertoire of insights. It appeared as a tantalizing option, tempting him with its immense potential, but the cost stood at a staggering 1 million destiny points. He deduced that this revelation was a direct result of his encounter with the mysterious Ebon Void Essence, or a catalyst that had unlocked a previously uncharted avenue for him to explore. The realization sent waves of excitement and anticipation coursing through Wang Jian's veins. The prospect of mastering the elusive laws of space held an immense allure, promising him unparalleled control over the fabric of reality itself. It was an opportunity that he couldn't ignore, fueling his determination to acquire the necessary destiny points and harness this newfound potential. Wang Jian mused silently, contemplating his next course of action. To fully harness the system's abilities, I must actively target Yi Chen's original heroines, he acknowledged with conviction. Until now, Wang Jian had been meticulously cultivating his faction, strategically positioning himself not only as the most influential prince but also as someone with formidable support to withstand the imminent clash with the emperor. He was acutely aware that once he unveiled his ambitions of ascending to the throne, the emperor would swiftly perceive him as a formidable threat and take measures accordingly. Though the emperor was willing to appoint a crown prince, relinquishing the throne entirely was a different matter altogether. This was evident from the emperor's involvement in managing the affairs of the everlasting mystic empire and tirelessly expanding its borders. Wang Jian discerned that the emperor would seize this opportune moment to further the empire's territorial ambitions, capitalizing on the distractions that currently preoccupied him. It was a calculated move, driven by the emperor's unyielding desire for expansion and dominance. As Wang Jian's faction and the church's group advanced toward the heart of the forest, where the formidable demon force dwelled, he made a point of walking alongside Hong Meilin. Engaging her in conversation served his ulterior motives of unraveling her secrets and exerting further influence over her. During their exchange, an intriguing question escaped Wang Jian's lips, his voice laced with genuine curiosity. Why did the church dispatch 2 bishops as your group's protectors? Surely the Pope must have been aware of the existence of immensely powerful demons within these woods, capable of subduing the ferocious beasts and seizing control of this domain. Hong Meilin maintained an unwavering silence in response to his query, a deliberate choice that also allowed her to uphold her contractual agreement. Wang Jian found himself slightly taken aback by her resolute refusal to answer to his query. However, he astutely deduced that her silence implied that speaking on the matter would somehow run counter to the church's interests, sparking a sinister smile to curl upon his lips. Now I see. Your group's true purpose in venturing into this forest wasn't solely to vanquish the demons. No, in fact, your aim was to align yourselves with either the Crown Prince's or the Second Princess's faction, Wang Jian stated, his tone dripping with a mix of fascination and calculated observation. The Pope, wise in his strategies, foresaw that by joining forces with one of these factions, your group would benefit from their formidable protection. Thus, you would retain the lives of most of your loyal followers and members, while preserving the church's prestigious standing. What a truly clever scheme, he concluded, admiration and a touch of amusement coloring his words. As Wang Jian carefully observed Hong Meilin's reaction, he detected a flicker of astonishment within her pupils. The subtle betrayal in her gaze affirmed his theory, granting him the confirmation he sought. However, instead of acknowledging her response, Hong Meilin defiantly turned her head away, a silent gesture that spoke volumes of her guarded nature. A wry smile danced on Wang Jian's lips as he savored the triumph of his deduction. He relished the feeling of being one step ahead in this intricate game of power and manipulation. It was clear to him that his astute analysis had struck a chord within the depths of Hong Meilin's being, unsettling her in ways she did not wish to reveal. Unfazed by her attempts to maintain composure, Wang Jian leaned in slightly, his voice laced with an air of sly satisfaction. You can't hide it from me, Hong Meilin. Your eyes spoke volumes just now, confirming what I suspected. Your reaction tells me that I've struck a nerve with my deduction. He paused for a moment, savoring the tension that lingered in the air between them. But since you are my woman, I will make sure that your secret isn't exposed. In fact, I find this clandestine alliance of yours rather intriguing. It seems we share a common goal, to navigate the treacherous currents of power and secure our own positions. Wang Jian's words were delivered with a calculated mixture of curiosity and cunning, subtly hinting that it was a benefit of becoming his woman. However, she remained silent, her expression revealing a lack of interest in commenting on the topic at hand. Undeterred by her reticence, Wang Jian decided to conclude the discussion in a nonchalant manner, as if he were merely sharing an amusing observation. It's quite entertaining, isn't it? If the Pope hadn't attempted to be so clever by sending a lackluster group of protectors with you, we wouldn't have had the opportunity to forge this unique relationship. I suppose I ought to express my gratitude for his unwitting assistance. His words struck a chord within Hong Meilin, revealing a mixture of shock and hurt in her eyes. Wang Jian couldn't help but savor the sight, knowing that he had planted a seed of doubt within her. He understood that the more she contemplated the situation, the more dissatisfied she would become with the church and its leadership. This was the first step in eroding her faith and trust. As Wang Jian's faction steadily advanced towards the central region, his siblings' factions, led by Crown Prince Wang Hao and Second Princess Wang Ying, were also drawing near to the heart of the sacred dominion. In contrast, Yi Chen and the Butterfly Spirit Queen's group encountered minimal resistance, effortlessly navigating their way to the central region without encountering any demons along their path. The Butterfly Spirit Queen skillfully employed her superior spiritual and illusionary abilities, cloaking the entire group from the prying eyes of the demons as they silently observed their adversaries stationed within the area. With a deliberate gesture, the Butterfly Spirit Queen pointed towards a specific direction and spoke in a voice laden with significance. Just 10 miles ahead in that very direction lies the seal-bound elemental sparks. It is a power that only I possess the ability to unlock. Yi Chen, fully aware that liberating the area required assistance beyond their current means, inquired earnestly, is there anything else at our disposal? Any resources or allies we can leverage? A fleeting shadow of worry crossed the Butterfly Spirit Queen's countenance as she conveyed her troubling discovery. I can sense the presence of my captive race members and other beasts, held captive nearly 14 miles in the northwestern direction. Pausing for a moment, she continued with a furrowed brow, her voice betraying a hint of trepidation. However, that particular region is teeming with demons. Their numbers are formidable, bolstered by the presence of nearly 30 King Realm experts. To further complicate matters, one among them possesses an aura so potent that it could rival even an Emperor Realm expert's might. The weight of their predicament hung heavily in the air, casting a pall of tension over the group. The Butterfly Spirit Queen's distress was palpable, a testament to the daunting challenge they faced. Rescuing her beast comrades from the clutches of the demons would demand careful planning, unwavering resolve, and a calculated strategy to overcome the overwhelming odds that stood in their way. Yi Chen pondered for a moment, considering their options. How close can we approach the location where the beasts are being held without alerting the demons? He inquired. The butterfly spirit queen exuded confidence as she responded, I can maintain our concealment outside of the 5-mile radius of the demons. As long as we remain outside that distance, they won't be able to detect us. Understanding their limitations, Yi Chen nodded thoughtfully. In that case, we need to maneuver along the edges and stealthily make our way toward that area, he suggested, formulating a plan in his mind. Eagerly, the butterfly spirit queen asked, her eyes shining with hope, do you have a plan to save our comrades? With a self-assured smile, Yi Chen revealed his strategy. As I mentioned earlier, I am affiliated with the second Princess Wang Ying's faction. Once her faction arrives, the demons will undoubtedly shift their attention towards them. This will create a diversion, allowing us to infiltrate the demons' camp unnoticed and liberate our fellow beast comrades. Their release will significantly bolster our forces. However, the butterfly spirit queen's expression turned slightly distressed as she voiced her concern, but my comrades, they are likely in no condition to fight. I sensed their auras were feeble and weakened, likely due to starvation and mistreatment. Yi Chen's smile remained unwavering as he reassured her, fear not. I possess an array of rare exotic herbs with potent essence capable of instantly restoring their strength. In truth, the butterfly spirit queen and her comrades had once possessed such herbs, but they had all been seized by the demons, leaving them empty-handed. Learning of Yi Chen's possession of these precious resources brought newfound joy to the butterfly spirit queen's heart. Finally, she could envision her comrades being freed from their plight and rising up to vanquish the demons that had tormented them. With swift yet cautious steps, the entire group pressed forward, their determination driving them closer to the northwestern region where the demons' camp lay, a mere 6 miles away. Aware of the delicate nature of their mission, they chose to bide their time and wait for the opportune moment. Their patience was soon rewarded as the atmosphere crackled with anticipation. Breaking through the barriers of the sacred dominion, a formidable faction emerged, led by none other than the Crown Prince Wang Hao himself. Yi Chen's eyes gleamed with a mix of excitement and strategic calculation as he observed the unfolding scene. Let us be patient and keenly observe the unfolding battle, Yi Chen suggested, his voice laced with a strategic edge. We must seize the opportune moment to charge forth and liberate our fellow beasts. The loyal beasts that stood behind him nodded in unanimous agreement, their eyes gleaming with a mixture of anticipation and determination. In the midst of their silent vigil, a thunderous uproar erupted from the demon camp. A horde of demons surged forward, their frenzied charge led by none other than Tristan, a formidable heir of the Oceanic Tempest Storm Devil clan. His name reverberated through the realms, a symbol of unparalleled power and authority among his peers. Tristan, with his commanding presence and auras that rivaled even those of Emperor Realm experts, had earned his reputation as one of the most revered figures among the demon clans. Only the sinister Nether Curseweaver Devil Princess, an enigma in her own right, could match his stature. Amidst the charged atmosphere, crackling with palpable tension, even the Crown Prince Wang Hao donned a grave expression as he sensed the overwhelming aura emanating from Tristan. The weight of the impending battle settled heavily upon their shoulders, reminding them of the monumental challenge that awaited them. I shall be the one to face this formidable demon, declared Wang Hao, his voice resolute as he unsheathed his mighty glaive. His loyal subordinates nodded in silent accord, their eyes gleaming with unwavering determination. Within their ranks, 7 King Realm experts led their respective groups, their experience and prowess shining through. The realization that the enemy forces boasted 10 King Realm demons caused deep furrows to appear on the brows of Wang Hao's faction leaders. The odds seemed daunting, with their King Realm experts outnumbered. However, unyielding in their resolve, they planned to stand united, fighting as a cohesive force while remaining vigilant against the relentless assault of the demons. Fortune favored them, for the Crown Prince had diligently conducted rigorous teamwork exercises among his faction, constantly sharpening their combat skills as they clashed with the demonic forces, thereby bolstering their prestige. Moreover, the Crown Prince Wang Hao's faction possessed considerable experience in battling against demons, further enhancing their chances of victory. With these factors in their favor, they believed their odds stood at an even 50-50. Unbeknownst to them, a covert danger lurked within the enemy camp. Nearly 20 King Realm experts lay in wait, their presence concealed from the Crown Prince's faction. The demons had a calculated reason for leaving behind this formidable force. They prepared for the impending arrival of the second Princess Wang Ying's faction, a formidable power comparable to that of the Crown Prince. Caution dictated their actions, as they had gleaned information of Wang Ying's approach from a few demons who had managed to escape during her encounter with Ethan. Unbeknownst to the demons, their focus on Wang Ying's faction left them oblivious to the stealthy movements of Wang Jian's faction. Wang Jian left no room for demons to escape during his battles against Aiden and other demon groups, rendering his faction hidden from their watchful eyes. As Yi Chen's gaze fixated upon the ranks of the Crown Prince's faction, his attention was captivated by the presence of Guan Yin amidst the battle against the demons. His eyes softened, a flicker of surprise mingling with a tinge of disbelief. He hadn't anticipated Guan Yin's participation in this perilous forest skirmish. UW levels up Tez on NOV/L/BI.com. A fleeting conflict played out within Yi Chen's mind, a tumultuous battle of indecision and self-interest. His eyes darted between the Butterfly Spirit Queen's group and Guan Yin, his heart torn between two distinct paths. Moments stretched into an agonizing eternity as he wrestled with his own desires. His lips moved, muttering words of rationalization that rang hollow even in his own ears. Sister Yin is a resilient warrior. She knows how to avoid direct confrontation with these formidable King Realm demons, he whispered, trying to convince himself of his decision. Deep down, however, Yi Chen was all too aware of the truth that lurked beneath his flimsy justifications. Selfishness fueled his thoughts, and his true motives laid bare. He yearned for the Butterfly Spirit Queen's affections, craving the power and advantages that came with possessing her coveted Butterfly Spirit Queen's mark. In his relentless pursuit of personal gain, he had no qualms about forsaking Guan Yin, discarding her like a pawn on a chessboard. As the cacophony of battle intensified around him, Yi Chen's face twisted into a cunning smile, betraying the darkness that resided within his soul. The weight of his choice settled upon his shoulders, a burden that mingled with his ambition and lust for supremacy. The thunderous battle between the demons and the Crown Prince's faction commenced soon. The battlefield crackled with anticipation as Tristan, his towering figure wreathed in a dense shroud of malevolent qi, stared down at the audacious human Crown Prince, Wang Hao, and his loyal faction. A smirk curled upon Tristan's lips, his voice dripping with disdain as he unleashed his words like venomous arrows. "Another pitiful human dares to challenge me?" Tristan sneered, his voice reverberating with an air of arrogance. "Know this, you insignificant mortal, among demons, I am revered as the unrivaled champion of the King Realm. Your feeble attempts to oppose me will be naught but futile gestures of defiance." His words hung in the air, an ominous echo that saturated the atmosphere with unsettling energy. Tristan's demonic aura pulsed around him, dark tendrils coiling like serpents, as if hungry for the taste of victory. The Crown Prince's faction stood firm, their expressions a mixture of determination and wariness. As the tension mounted, Tristan unleashed his assault, his formidable power surging forth in a devastating shockwave that shook the very foundations of the battlefield. The earth trembled beneath the sheer force of his attack, sending debris hurtling in all directions. Fueled by his unwavering arrogance, Tristan lunged at the foolish human, his fist aimed straight for the Crown Prince's chest. But fate had a different plan. In the chaos and billowing dust cloud that followed Tristan's attack, an unexpected twist unfolded. When the dust settled, it was not the human Crown Prince who lay sprawled on the ground, but Tristan himself. Stunned, he struggled to regain his composure, his arrogant facade crumbling before him. "I hope you've come to realize, demon, that your boasts were nothing but empty bluster," Wang Hao retorted, his voice laced with a dripping sarcasm that cut through the air. "Unlike you, I prefer action over endless rhetoric. But I suppose such wisdom eludes an imbecilic demon like yourself." A surge of tremendous qi engulfed Wang Hao, his form bathed in an ethereal aura that spoke of the legendary royal warlord bloodline coursing through his veins. A grave expression crossed Tristan's face as he recognized the unmistakable presence of an extraordinary bloodline. "The royal warlord bloodline?" Tristan exclaimed, his shock mingling with a hint of apprehension. "This insignificant human possesses such an awe-inspiring heritage?" Tristan understood the gravity of the situation. The royal warlord bloodline bestowed upon its inheritors an array of extraordinary abilities, each as formidable as the next. Even a fraction of these abilities would place the human on par with demons hailing from the great devil clans, renowned for their unrivaled power. Renewed determination burned in Wang Hao's eyes as he and Tristan resumed their battle, their clash of techniques echoing across the battlefield. Wielding his glaive with unmatched finesse, each strike resonating with raw power and precision, Wang Hao unleashed the Golden Serpent Strike. Lightning-fast arcs of golden energy shot forth, aimed squarely at Tristan. The demonic overlord swiftly countered with the abyssal torrent, conjuring a swirling maelstrom of dark water to deflect Wang Hao's onslaught. Their clash intensified, the ring of steel against demonic energy filling the air with an enthralling symphony of might and resilience. Undeterred, Wang Hao initiated the Imperial Gale Thrust, propelling himself forward with a gust of wind, his glaive aimed at Tristan's flank. Tristan retaliated with the Tempest Cleave, his demonic energy coalescing into a swirling cyclone that deflected Wang Hao's attack with overwhelming force. The battlefield became an ethereal stage for their prowess, their clash an electrifying spectacle of awe-inspiring skill and power. Wang Hao tapped into the true potential of his royal warlord bloodline, unleashing the devastating Thunderstrike Fury, which imbued his glaive with crackling lightning. The weapon sliced through the air, aiming unerringly for Tristan's vulnerable defenses. Tristan, a blend of desperation and determination etched across his face, summoned the might of his Oceanic Storm Tempest Devil bloodline techniques. The ground beneath him trembled as he created a massive tidal wave that surged towards Wang Hao. The Crown Prince, undeterred, executed the radiant skyward slash, leaping into the air and spinning his glaive in a dazzling display of skill. His strike cleaved through the towering wave, dispersing it into a mist of shimmering water droplets. The battle continued unabated, each combatant showcasing their unique abilities and skill sets. Tristan's Dark Embrace, a technique that summoned shadowy tendrils to ensnare his foes, clashed against Wang Hao's Divine Light Resplendence, a blinding burst of golden radiance that purged darkness and disrupted Tristan's attacks. Wang Hao's mastery of weaponry astounded Tristan, each move a display of lethal finesse. The glaive became an extension of the human's will, a conduit for his bloodline's power. The clash of Wang Hao's golden strikes against Tristan's demonic techniques painted a vivid tapestry of destruction. As the battle raged on, Tristan's face contorted with a mix of frustration and realization. His initial arrogance shattered, replaced by a growing respect for his opponent. Wang Hao's unyielding might surged forth, magnifying his strength and abilities with each passing moment, a testament to his unwavering determination. And then, in a moment that seized the battlefield's collective breath, Wang Hao invoked the ultimate ability of the royal warlord bloodline, the Sovereign's Ascendance. An ethereal aura enveloped him, an embodiment of awe-inspiring might and authoritative presence. In this form, Wang Hao transcended mortal limits, becoming a force capable of carving through armies and decimating battlefields. Tristan found himself pushed to his limits, his every technique met with a counter from Wang Hao's ever-growing arsenal of bloodline abilities. The clash of demonic water and golden energy created a spectacle that etched itself into the memories of all who bore witness. The battle raged on, an intricate dance of power, skill, and bloodline might. Each combatant tapped into their deepest reserves, driven by an insatiable thirst for victory. Tristan unleashed the demonic vortex, a devastating technique that created a swirling whirlwind of dark energy. Wang Hao responded with the heaven's wrath, channeling celestial energy into his glaive, transforming it into a weapon of divine retribution. Tristan, possessing a pure and inherently potent bloodline, wielded demonic attributes of incomparable strength. But even he had to acknowledge the formidable human adversary before him. The royal warlord bloodline granted Wang Hao an unwavering resilience, enabling him to endure wounds that would cripple ordinary warriors. The battlefield quaked under their combined might, the shockwaves of their clashes threatening to decimate everything in their vicinity. Wang Hao's subordinates fought valiantly against the demon forces, their priority to protect themselves from the battle shockwaves while dealing with the enemy troops. They positioned themselves strategically, taking cover behind debris and utilizing defensive formations to minimize the collateral damage caused by the relentless clash between their leader and Tristan. Wang Hao, fueled by the unwavering support of his loyal forces, summoned the strength to deliver his final, resounding blow. Top VL updates on n/o/v/lb/n.com. His glaive gleamed with a resplendent golden light as he executed the celestial annihilation. A devastating wave of energy surged forth, tearing through the battlefield with unparalleled force. Tristan, caught off guard, attempted to counter with his dark desolation, but his efforts proved futile against the overwhelming might of Wang Hao's attack. The Sovereign's Ascendance, combined with the indomitable power of the royal warlord bloodline, proved too much for Tristan to withstand. His defenses crumbled, and he found himself helpless against the unstoppable onslaught. With a mighty roar, Wang Hao's strike connected, shattering Tristan's defenses and sending the Demon King hurtling through the air. As Tristan crashed to the ground, his eyes filled with a mix of realization and desperation. He had come to understand that he was no match for Wang Hao's overwhelming power, fueled by the extraordinary bloodline abilities such as the awe-inspiring Sovereign's Ascendance and the escalating might of the unyielding might. Tristan's mind raced as he surveyed the battlefield, his gaze fixating on the human experts who stood defiantly against his demonic forces. They fought with unparalleled skill and unity, pushing back his minions with unwavering resolve. Tristan knew that the balance of the battle hinged on their cooperation and harmony. If he could disrupt their rhythm, the tide could turn in his favor. With a burst of energy, Tristan vanished from Wang Hao's sight, leaving the crown prince momentarily bewildered. Wang Hao searched frantically, his eyes darting across the battlefield, but there was no sign of Tristan. A sudden surge of dark energy drew his attention, and he turned just in time to witness Tristan standing defiantly on the opposite end of the field. A massive sphere of pure darkness swirled around Tristan, infused with the raw power of a raging storm. The destructive potential of this ominous sphere was undeniable, and even Wang Hao felt a twinge of uncertainty as he prepared to defend against its onslaught. Tristan's voice rang out, a feral grin stretching across his face. "Try saving them from this." With a malicious flick of his wrist, the dark sphere was launched toward the unsuspecting human forces, hurtling through the air with alarming speed and precision. Wang Hao's eyes widened in a mix of shock and determination as he leaped forward, his mind racing with the urgency to protect his loyal followers. Yet, even with his unparalleled speed and reflexes, Wang Hao realized that the dark sphere outmatched him in swiftness, closing in on his subordinates with terrifying velocity. At the forefront of those who stood against the impending doom of the dark sphere were the venerable elder of the celestial dragon sect, the steadfast elder of the heavenly blade sect disciples, and the valiant members of the Jade Order, Brotherhood of the Iron Fist, and the Crimson Guards. Their unwavering loyalty to Wang Hao placed them directly in harm's way, with their lives hanging in the balance as the malevolent sphere hurtled towards them. Unbeknownst to Tristan, a deceptive veil of illusion concealed Yi Chen, and the Beast Group, led by the enigmatic Butterfly Spirit Queen, was just a few steps away. The Queen had issued a stern order, instructing her comrades to hold their ground and refrain from launching a preemptive strike against the Demon Lord. Their silence and hidden presence were crucial to their mission of rescuing their captive comrades from within the enemy camp. Yi Chen, however, wore a conflicted expression as his gaze fixated on Tristan, the mastermind behind the impending catastrophe. The weight of his decision bore heavily upon him, for he knew that among the Crown Prince's faction, Guanyin, the one he held dear, was one of the targets of this malicious assault. Her life teetered on the brink of oblivion, and Yi Chen yearned to intervene, to stop Tristan from carrying out his murderous intentions. Yet, a vexing dilemma clouded Yi Chen's mind. The choice to intervene meant exposing both himself and the Butterfly Spirit Queen's group, jeopardizing their carefully laid plans of a surprise attack to liberate their imprisoned brethren. It was a decision that reeked of selfishness, a betrayal of the very comrades they sought to rescue. Yi Chen's internal struggle churned within him, an unsettling battle of emotions and conflicting desires. In a silent plea to the powers that be, he whispered in the depths of his mind, "May Sister Ines survive this ordeal." The situation grew increasingly dire for the members of the Crown Prince's faction, their lives hanging by a thread. The looming threat of impending death compelled action, as the 7 formidable King Realm experts, including the venerable elders of the Heavenly Blade sect and the Celestial Dragon sect, mobilized their utmost defensive maneuvers in a layered formation. A resilient 7-tiered barrier was erected, intended to intercept or at least slow down the relentless dark sphere, granting precious moments for their comrades to escape the imminent danger. However, it soon became painfully clear that their defensive prowess was futile against the overwhelming might of the dark sphere. The realization struck them like a thunderbolt: no matter how valiant their efforts, they could not obstruct its path or even impede its speed. In a heart-stopping twist, the last line of defense against the dark sphere fell upon the elder of the Celestial Dragon sect. Aware that the sphere's unhindered advance would result in catastrophic casualties and an inevitable defeat for the Crown Prince's faction, he made a fateful decision. Stepping forth with unwavering determination, he positioned himself directly in the sphere's trajectory, knowing full well the dire consequences that awaited him. With a resounding impact, the elder's body collided forcefully with the dark sphere. The tremendous force unleashed upon contact threatened to disintegrate him, but he clenched his teeth, summoning every ounce of his remaining chi and even drawing upon the fading embers of his life force. In a final, desperate bid, he marshaled his dwindling strength to push the malevolent sphere away. His body ravaged by grievous injuries, the Celestial Dragon sect's elder collapsed to the ground, teetering on the precipice of death. Yet, his selfless sacrifice bore fruit, for the dark sphere was deflected skyward, spared from its intended path of devastation. As the valiant King Realm warrior from the Crown Prince's faction, wounded and unable to continue the fight, succumbed to the gravity of his injuries, a profound sense of reverence and admiration permeated the ranks of his comrades. The selflessness and unwavering resolve displayed by their fallen comrade ignited an inferno of determination within their hearts, bolstering their morale to unprecedented heights. Whispers of awe and gratitude rippled through the air as the surviving warriors exchanged glances, their eyes gleaming with newfound determination. The harrowing sacrifice of their fellow King Realm warrior had become a rallying cry, a beacon of inspiration that illuminated the path to victory. In the face of overwhelming odds, their spirits burned brighter than ever, fueling their resolve to press on and secure a triumphant outcome for their faction. The impact of the selfless sacrifice reverberated through Crown Prince Wang Hao's very being, igniting a resolute fire within his heart. With lightning speed, he surged forward, his glaive an extension of his indomitable will. Each strike from Wang Hao's glaive was a masterful display of technique and power, as he unleashed a symphony of devastating attacks upon Tristan's body. Though Tristan's regenerative abilities had recently mended his wounds, Wang Hao's relentless assault tore them open once more, inflicting renewed pain and torment. His glaive radiated with the incandescent brilliance of gold elemental qi, each strike imbued with the energy of the gilded sunbeam strike. The concentrated beam of golden light sliced through Tristan's defenses with blinding speed, leaving behind a trail of shimmering brilliance. Wang Hao's auric celestial slicer came next, as he swung his glaive in a wide arc. The blade transformed into a razor-sharp, golden energy blade, effortlessly cleaving through Tristan's weakened defenses, leaving behind a trail of radiant light that danced in the air. The relentless onslaught continued with the shimmering gold star thrust. Concentrating his energy into the tip of his glaive, Wang Hao condensed it into a small but immensely powerful golden star. With pinpoint precision, he thrust the star towards Tristan, propelling it with blinding speed and explosive force. The star streaked through the air, aiming to pierce through Tristan's defenses. Tristan, caught off guard by the ferocity of Wang Hao's assault, retaliated with his Aqua Storm Strike. La test novls on n vel by / co. His fists became engulfed in a scorching blue storm, combining the power of water and demonic lightning. He unleashed a devastating punch that sought to engulf Wang Hao in a torrent of lightning water. Undeterred, Wang Hao countered with his glimmering serpent's fang. Swift and precise, he performed a precise stab with his glaive, infusing it with the essence of a golden serpent. The glaive's blade transformed into a shimmering golden fang, piercing through Tristan's defenses with venomous accuracy. Tristan, his iron skin breached, grimaced in agony as the golden energy surged through his veins. He had not anticipated such a formidable adversary in Wang Hao, and the realization of his impending defeat gnawed at him, fueling his anger. Grinding his teeth, he retreated with a leap, his eyes fixated on Wang Hao, burning with fury and determination. Observing the battle unfolding around them, Tristan noticed to his dismay that his own demon forces were faltering against Wang Hao's faction members. The tides of war had turned against him, adding to his frustration and urgency. His clenched fist trembled with repressed rage as he prepared to unleash a devastating countermeasure. With a sudden motion, Tristan summoned a massive torrent of water into the sky, its appearance seemingly innocuous to Wang Hao's watchful gaze. Confusion briefly clouded the Crown Prince's face as he wondered about the purpose behind this move, but clarity soon dawned upon him. The land beneath their feet began to tremble ominously, signaling an impending catastrophe. From the heart of Tristan's camp, a colossal wave of demon forces surged forth, charging towards the battlefield with unrestrained fury and malevolence. It was a calculated move, a signal sent by Tristan to rally the remnants of his shattered army and turn the tide of the battle. In that critical moment, Wang Hao's gaze locked with Tristan's, a mixture of determination and understanding passing between them. The realization that the true battle had only just begun settled upon Wang Hao's mind, as the battlefield became engulfed in an atmosphere charged with desperation and impending doom. Wang Hao tightened his grip on his glaive, his voice carrying an unwavering resolve as he addressed his allies. Prepare yourselves. The true test lies ahead. We must stand firm against this onslaught and prevail. Amidst the tumultuous battle, a new presence emerged at the heart of the forest, seizing the attention of all on the battlefield. It was none other than the faction led by the second Princess Wang Ying, whose arrival injected a surge of anticipation into the already charged atmosphere. As the dust settled and the combatants momentarily halted their clashes, all eyes turned towards the second princess and her loyal warriors. The forest seemed to hold its breath in anticipation of her next move, for Wang Ying was known for her tactical brilliance and unyielding determination. With an air of regal grace, Wang Ying stepped forward, her piercing gaze surveying the battlefield. Her voice carried a commanding tone as she addressed both friend and foe alike, her words resounding with authority. Fear not, my comrades. Our arrival signifies the turning of the tide. Together, we shall vanquish these demons and restore peace to these lands. Her faction members, inspired by her unwavering resolve, rallied behind her, their swords raised high and their spirits aflame with determination. The arrival of the second princess injected a renewed sense of hope and unity among Wang Hao's forces, as they recognized the significance of her presence in turning the tides of the battle. The forest echoed with the clash of weapons and the fervent battle cries, as the combined might of the Crown Prince's faction and the second princess's forces stood united against the encroaching demon horde. Crown Prince Wang Hao seemed relieved as he saw Wang Ying's faction. He understood there was a way to salvage this situation now. Wang Ying's faction had arrived at the heart of the forest well before the current clash between her elder brother's forces and the relentless demon horde. With a keen eye, she observed the ongoing battle, recognizing the strategic advantage that presented itself. Initially, Wang Ying had planned to exploit the situation, biding her time until Wang Hao's faction weakened the demons and then seized the opportunity to strike. However, when Tristan's call for reinforcements echoed through the camp, a sense of urgency surged within her. Realizing that delay would only lead to the imminent defeat of her brother's forces, Wang Ying made a swift and resolute decision. She understood that the only way to tip the scales in their favor was to forge an alliance with Wang Hao's faction and confront the demon forces together. Without a moment's hesitation, Wang Ying and her loyal warriors stepped forward, their eyes gleaming with determination. Tristan's eyes blazed with fury upon witnessing Wang Ying's forces joining the fray. His voice, filled with venomous rage, cut through the chaos. "Annihilate these pathetic humans. Leave no one alive." In response to his command, the demon forces swiftly divided their attention. A portion surged towards Wang Ying and her loyal faction, while another group descended upon Wang Hao's determined warriors. Leading the charge against Wang Ying's faction was Brian, a formidable member of the Oceanic Tempest Storm Devil clan. Though not as formidable as Tristan himself, Brian possessed considerable power that demanded respect. Wang Ying and Elder Hua, recognizing the threat Brian posed, stepped forward as a united front. Their eyes locked onto Brian, unwavering and unyielding. It was a testament to their unwavering resolve and shared determination to protect their comrades and overcome any obstacle. Meanwhile, the 7 King Realm demons that had answered Tristan's call for reinforcements took up their positions on the battlefield. 4 of them advanced upon Wang Ying's faction, while the remaining 3 converged on Wang Hao's forces. The clash intensified as Wang Hao's and Wang Ying's factions fought with unwavering tenacity and synchronized precision. Each strike, each parry, reverberated through the forest, as the demon forces found themselves embroiled in a grueling battle on 2 fronts. Amidst the chaos, Wang Ying's voice rose above the clamor, her words filled with unwavering conviction. "We fight not only for ourselves but for the honor of our kingdom. Together, we shall vanquish these demons and forge a path to victory." Elder Hua, his gaze hardened with determination, echoed her sentiments. "Our combined strength shall shatter their hopes and extinguish their malevolence. They will learn the price of challenging the might of the royal bloodline." United in purpose and driven by their shared resolve, Wang Ying, Elder Hua, and their faction pressed forward, their weapons clashing with the demon horde. The battlefield became a cauldron of chaos, where heroism and valor clashed against the relentless tide of darkness. As the epic battle raged on, a glimmer of opportunity beckoned to Yi Chen's group, a chance to stealthily infiltrate the heart of the enemy encampment. Guided by the astute counsel of the venerable Butterfly Spirit Queen, they learned that although only 3 formidable King Realm demons remained stationed within the camp, a horde of lesser Lord Realm demons swarmed the area. Bolstered by their numerical superiority and well-equipped arsenal, Yi Chen's group possessed the necessary strength to confront and overcome the demon horde within the camp's confines. With measured steps and bated breath, they embarked on their cautious advance towards the encampment. Mindful of the ever-present peril, the Butterfly Spirit Queen skillfully maintained the veil of illusion enveloping the group, rendering them imperceptible to the keen senses of the demons. Their presence cloaked in the ethereal glamour, they moved with silent determination, weaving through the shadows towards their objective. Yi Chen, a gleam of determination in his eyes, addressed his comrades, his voice carrying the weight of purpose. "Stay vigilant, everyone. Our path lies within those camp walls. With calculated precision, we shall breach their defenses and liberate the captured beasts." His allies nodded in agreement, their expressions a reflection of unwavering resolve. Fully aware of the gravity of their mission, they understood that the stakes were high, and success hinged upon their unity and skill. Pressing forward, their senses heightened, attuned to the subtle nuances of the environment. Each step taken was measured, every movement orchestrated with utmost caution, for the delicate balance between discovery and concealment teetered on a knife's edge. In this precarious dance of shadows, the Butterfly Spirit Queen's melodious voice resonated in their minds, a reassuring whisper amidst the tension. "Fear not, my dear comrades. My illusionary cloak shields us from prying demon eyes." Emboldened by her words and bolstered by their unwavering resolve, Yi Chen's group advanced stealthily, their hearts aflame with determination. They were a symphony of silent warriors, poised to strike a decisive blow against their demonic adversaries. With each calculated step, they closed in on the camp, their collective resolve unyielding. As the camp brimmed with a seething mass of demons, the prospect of infiltrating unnoticed appeared nigh impossible. Undeterred, Yi Chen's strategic acumen sparked a glimmer of hope. With conviction in his voice, he proposed, "Let us divide our forces into 2 teams. My team shall charge headlong into the heart of the camp, diverting the attention of the formidable high-ranking demons, luring them away from the captive beasts. Turning his gaze towards the esteemed butterfly spirit queen, Yi Chen addressed her with utmost urgency. During this critical diversion, I implore you, butterfly spirit queen, to exploit your mastery of illusionary arts. Sneak into the camp's depths, cloaking your presence with ethereal veils, and liberate your comrades. Realizing the pivotal role the butterfly spirit queen played in their mission, Yi Chen entrusted her with a spatial pouch brimming with precious and potent vital essence herbs, meticulously gathered from various elemental sources. His voice brimmed with seriousness as he spoke. Inside this sacred pouch lie hundreds of vital essence herbs, encompassing the myriad elements. These restorative treasures shall aid your captured brethren in replenishing their essence. The butterfly spirit queen's eyes gleamed with gratitude and determination, her hands cradling the spatial pouch tenderly. Expressing her gratitude, she murmured, "Your kindness knows no bounds. With this invaluable gift, my comrades' chances of recovery soar. I am forever indebted to your unwavering support." A warm smile adorned Yi Chen's face as he offered a suggestion, his words carrying a hint of anticipation. "Once we have vanquished these demons and safeguarded the sacred land, perhaps we can indulge in a cup of wine and engage in heartfelt conversation." With an air of composure, the butterfly spirit queen responded coolly, her voice carrying a note of restraint. "Indeed, Yi Chen, your proposition is enticing. However, our current priority lies in the successful completion of our mission. We shall discuss such matters at a more opportune time." After their conversation concluded, Yi Chen carefully handpicked a group of 30 beasts to form his team. Among them stood formidable creatures, each possessing unique combat abilities. The roster included the likes of the venomous thorn frog, whose poisonous attacks could cripple even the hardiest foes, the agile shadowfang panther, the thundering tusk boar with its relentless charging power, the resilient ironhide rhino, the venomous stings of the scorchclaw scorpion, the agile and swift stormwing bee, the deadly strikes of the viper strike wasp, the razor-sharp claws of the blade claw mantis, the intricate web-weaving prowess of the silk fang spider, and the ferocious and frenzied fang beast. Surveying his formidable team, Yi Chen addressed them with unwavering confidence. "My friends, we stand united in our mission to free our captive comrades. Each of you possesses remarkable skills and unwavering determination. Together, we shall overcome any obstacle that stands in our path. Are you ready to unleash your true potential and bring our allies back to freedom?" In response, the beasts let out resounding roars and snarls, their eyes burning with a fierce resolve. It was a testament to their unwavering loyalty and shared determination. They were prepared to face whatever trials awaited them in the demon-infested camp, for the sake of their captured brethren. With their formation in place, Yi Chen raised his arm high, signaling his team to charge forth with unwavering determination. "Charge," he commanded, his voice filled with fierce resolve. At the forefront of the formation, the mighty ironhide rhino and thundering tusk boar led the charge, their combined strength crashing against the demon camp's formidable fences, sending shockwaves rippling through the air. The thunderous impact instantly drew the attention of every demon in the vicinity, their twisted gazes fixated on the incoming onslaught. Yi Chen's team surged forward in a seamless line, their velocity unmatched and their force unstoppable. Demons who dared to stand in their path were swiftly overpowered, their feeble attempts to halt the onslaught proving futile. Despite facing the numerically superior demon forces, Yi Chen's team remained resolute, knowing that their primary objective was to create a diversion and buy precious time for the butterfly spirit queen to rescue her captive comrades. As they pressed on, Yi Chen's team boasted the strength of 2 king realm beasts, the indomitable ironhide rhino and the elusive shadowfang panther. Their presence instilled confidence within their ranks, their raw power serving as an unwavering beacon of hope amidst the chaotic battlefield. Find the new ST ovals on n/velben.com. Unfazed by the opposing demon kings, the team's unwavering morale burned brightly, fueled by their unwavering determination to succeed in their mission. However, Yi Chen's team had no idea that they were about to experience extreme despair. Yi Chen's plan was pretty good, and it should have gone perfectly if not for some irregularities. An irregularity named Wang Jian. Well, that's all for this part, truckers. See you in the next video.